people trust. They have the name. They have an all-in-one sort of suite. These AirPods, like everything is just seamless. And I know it's true for other platforms as well. Yeah. I'm just saying Apple can build on that. Their services revenue continues to grow. Let's see if they can get that going again. So I like Apple. I think Tim Cook will figure it all out. And yeah, buying the dips might not be a horrible idea in Apple. And in fact, I tried it today. I wanted to buy 200, right? This was on the sticky. Like when we opened up the day at 207, I didn't think we'd get 200. But we did. It came in. I wasn't even here. That fill came, and we punched out as soon as it broke 200. CEO. So we'll lose 20 cents real quick there on Apple. Actually only had a little bit left over. Once it came back, yeah, we got out of those as well. So, yeah, never really a winner today, man. This 200 did not hold. It's been holding the 200 period. Looks like downside. I would say you're not safe buying Apple here. You're not safe at all. China's not playing nice right now, and neither is the U.S. They haven't come up with a deal. You're better off to wait, right, until there's a deal, and then go back into Apple. I think you have lots of time to get this stock.
Yeah, I think there's nothing I guess is wrong with waiting. I think it's definitely encouraged for sure. And Apple definitely want to wait on and watch out for, because again, it's pretty much kind of in no man's land. A little bit of a consolidation around 200 over the past couple of months. You can see that it's trying, nothing too crazy. We did dip down pretty aggressively to 167.84, I guess in April there. But since then, attempt to push that 200 is still happening. We can see that almost every couple of weeks, it seems like that 200 comes back into play, and we're seeing that happening today as well. But yeah, range highs all the way at 213s, lows all the way 189s. If you really want to catch that low, that's all the way again at that just below that 168. So pretty much within, I would say, a little bit of a chop zone there on Apple. When it comes to the intraday, again, we're seeing a very similar story to that of the futures here, of the larger markets. A bit of an extension or a down trend off of that VWAP. This one a little distinctly different relative to TQs and Amazon, like we just saw. It did not quite get up to VWAP, so relative weakness, I guess, or even I guess no, that would be relative strength to the market. I think that's what it is. But yeah, that's the look on Apple. Nothing else really going on here on Apple other than that bit of consolidation that we've been doing over the past couple of hours. You can see there's a lot of opportunity in other tickers as well. Tesla with that quadrunk. Did we find out what that was? This flush that happened right here in and around 142. But that Tesla flush came in real hot.
So CRBU. I think the market got flushed there a little bit. Like I was hearing in my ear, Feds Kugler, first of all, speaking. Well, we'll hear some more from Adara, but I had heard that in my ear, and that's why I hate to report things like that about some of those missiles. But I don't know if that's true or not. It was a news story that I had heard, and I sort of, yeah. So I just wanted to say that could have been something that people were sort of asking questions later, and you know, selling first, ask later. So I don't know, but yeah, we're not really seeing anything on that. So who knows? Could have just been sirens going off.
It could have been one trader hitting the bid. Could have been any.
Well, I don't think it was that, but yeah, it could have been that.
I mean, sometimes that's all it takes.
Oh, one trader? Oh, meaning the market hitting downside. Oh, I thought you meant with what I heard in my ear. Yeah, no, yeah, could definitely be that. We saw a big sell earlier today, right? I mean, we saw the TQs, and we talked about this trade as well. Once we got going and we just started to break, you know, the volume was picking up. We had this great short through 72 and 72.50, 72, all the way down, was able to cover. And we just made like a new low there during lunchtime, man, 69.50. But the funny thing about this is, and this is why, you know, we talk about trading, and when you look back at things, right, and you say like, what exactly have we done here? And it's just, if you're looking for longs, like like that matches. Now you would have got, you know, if you're playing exactly, you would have got stopped out, because that's 69. That very bottom there is 69.30. The bottom yesterday, forget about that little wick right at the end of the day. Maybe you just play off there. That's 69.60. Your stop is probably 69.50, and then you're hating life when you get stopped out down there, like I probably would have. But, you know, that's just showing you support areas. I'm learning more and more now, and we talked about this, is that when you find these areas, these look like little trampolines, right? Like bouncing off, whoops. Escape. Okay, good. Bouncing off these areas here. you got to give it a little bit of room. We talked about less shares and more room to bounce, more room to maneuver. And we sort of did that with NVIDIA as well, where we started off with like very small shares here. And then when it came up into the 50 period is where we started to say game on. And then our stop, now it's going to show me at 139.44, but our average price was 24 when we had all of these shares, right? And so that was right there, 60 cents. So we were going to get stopped out for about a 25, 30 cent stop.
Big spread.
25, 60, 35 cent stop, right? And then it cratered, and we were able to get 3x that to the bottom. Now, who knows what's going to happen now? But that's what I sort of mean by if you're going to put on a position, you're going to have to give yourself a tighter stop.
VERV.
And I think the same thing is true there for the TQ trade that we just sort of gone over. Let me see, does that erase? Let me see if that erases those things. Yeah, so it does. So yeah, there's those bouncing spots again. You just got to give it a little bit of room. So yeah, like if I was going to go short on the TQs right now, you'd have to look here, here, and here. So I have to think that, hey, maybe we do test VWAP and give it a little bit more juice to break that VWAP and then figure out coming back in, right? So yeah, it's a good trade. Looks like the NASDAQ is zeros right here. So there it is, man. The NASDAQ got zeros today.
ACRS.
And what's the S&P? S&P's still up right there. So we'll find out, what's sort of creating that. And then, by the way, Bitcoin's not having a great day. Neil's going to go away on vacation. It was going to be 105. He's going to come back. It's going to be 105. So, but we didn't travel that much, man. We got to about 110, 111 or so as the high. We might have touched 112. But look at IBIT all day. Talk about selling, Obi. Like, this is just like pretty relentless selling. All the tops just keep getting hit right back in, right? So we keep on making higher, lower highs throughout the day here. So IBIT definitely respecting the downside move. So yeah, we're really excited to show you tonight's earnings plays as well. We've got Marvell, we've got Costco, I think we've got Dell. We've got everything on board, man, tonight, and it's going to be a good one. I actually tweeted out.
Watch the spread.
Well, we can go over to Trader TV Research. Ulta Beauty coming tonight as well. Costco, Gap, GPS. I thought Gap changed their
SBET.
symbol.
Big spread.
They did. So it is Gap. So it's Gap tonight. All right. Zscaler, Ulta Beauty, American Eagle Outfitters, Marvell, and Dell. So we have
big spread.
Oh, UI.
Good ones. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's a good one.
Okay. And NVIDIA.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm looking for. But,
SBET.
I mean, I'm sure you're on my chart.
Watch the spread.
I'm keeping it happy over here. Here's the thing. We can be in opposite directions. You know this. We can have totally different plans.
Oh, sure.
We can have totally different stocks.
I'm going to cover now, though.
And we can both be totally
wrong,
right, or totally wrong as well. Yeah, you could literally. That's the market, right? So again, I know what like right here. I know what I'm doing is a little iffy on my part, but again, I'm keeping it relatively tight here. It's still holding that trend. That trend that I pointed out just a few minutes ago.
HOVR.
Still holding that trend, but as we kind of creep up into it, maybe a little bit of anticipation on my part, but willing to give it a little bit of a try there for a potential push as we creep into the last hour. Only about 20 minutes left to 3 o'clock right there. So NVIDIA holding that downtrend for pretty much the whole day there. Futures right there. Well, I guess we attempted to push. There you go. I was keeping it pretty tight. Stopped out right underneath that 139. So I don't really have strong conviction just yet. It needs to do a lot more, but yeah, a little bit of a stab at that one right there. You can see that the NASDAQ attempted, or was going to go for its low a day there. Not really happening as of right now. Nice little bounce back up into 21,400. So got to wait and watch to see what that one entails here. I'm looking at these Mag 7s again. I guess some of these are directional, some of these not really. Like Softy's pretty much sideways, nothing crazy. Alphabet pretty much sideways. Amazon, nice trend off of VWAP, but if you were sitting on VWAP, and then TQs as well. Apple with a bit of a trend, but yeah, nothing too crazy on the rest of these names here. And NVIDIA, of course, as well, a little bit of a downtrend happening there. So yeah, that clearly didn't work. I was looking for that push to finally come in.
I'm on a mission to help people get their first deal and escape the rat race the best way I know how, by giving you access to...
So a little cheeky try on my part, but I know that I'm probably not going to be right more often than not. So I'm just going to keep that pretty tight.
Yeah, exactly. It's tight size. I mean, yeah, you're right more often than you're wrong. So that's.
I don't know if I'm. See, here's the thing.
You have all that data.
No, I understand I have the data, but it's what I'm realizing is some of the best players have like a 20-30% win rate. So like getting comfortable with trading those kind of strategies, and then managing risk around that kind of mindset. Again, I gotta wrap my head around that a little bit there. But again, you gotta be able. That's the job of a trader. You gotta be able to take a beating. Because think about it. If some of the best players in the game win 30% of the time, they're losing 70% of the time. The question is, can you withstand? Do you have the mental capital to withstand 70%, losing 70% of the time, and still have confidence in yourself?
But that means that share sizing is the most important thing, because how could you lose 70% of the time?
Big spread.
No, you can lose 70% of the time, but if you keep your risk really tight, because it's like when it doesn't work, it doesn't work at all. But when it works really well. Okay. Right, and it covers for all of those losses. That's what I'm realizing as well. So it's like, all right, well, you know.
Hey man, it all makes sense. Whatever makes sense to everybody as a trader.
What's the year to date?
That's why we asked you. What was that?
He's like, what's the year to date? I'm like, green.
Oh, green. Green, yeah. So not too many people green around here year to date, but it's been a tough year. It's half year now.
Yeah.
Right, so we're at the half year mark, and yeah, I mean, you want to be green. I shouldn't say not too many people green. We all want to be green. Year to date, but month over month, definitely tough, right? I mean, sometimes you want to look over at your P&L. That's why we say that it's always important to have side hustles and stuff like that, right? Because some months you'd be down $5,000, next month you're up 15 grand or whatever, or 500 or 1,500, depending on what you're swinging there on your account size. And so, you know, don't spend it all in one spot. You know, make sure buy yourself something nice, but definitely keep some money away for rainy days. Because we had that example on the air earlier where one of the traders said that they had lost $6 grand and then maybe in like a $13,000 loser or something else like that. But you know, if you're rolling with a couple $100 grand in your account, and that's kind of the risk to reward ratio that you're willing to deal with, you know, you still want to be able to have, like you said, a ratio that makes sense to the risk that you're putting on, because we can all get blown out at any time. And I told the story, I think it was, I gave up my whole month in one day. I think it was one of the days last month. And I can't remember what the trade was. It was probably something to do with NVIDIA. I can't remember, but yeah, and it's just like you get so confident, you put on some shares, and sometimes you know, you'll get blown out, and it happens to us all. I just wanted to clarify something with my friend. So that one friend yesterday
ALZN.
that got out, I just told him, like, great call by that, and you know, he's the one that pushed the key, getting out of NVIDIA yesterday in the aftermarket, right? Now NVIDIA's trying to push down a little bit lower. We just covered some at 139. We actually covered some at 138.
SGL1.
As well on that dip down. Oh no, we missed it. We got 94s. We didn't get 80s. Anyways, he's like, what else?
ALZN.
And I said, you know, actually, to be honest with you, I like Big Bear AI.
Yeah.
So the guy this is. So I just told him, maybe he goes, okay, he just bought 6,000 shares. Just out of the blue. Well, that's not a good advice. And I told him, dude, you gotta do your own research here, and you gotta figure this stuff out, right? Just because, like, I don't want to. He's like, you know what he goes? He goes, my retirement's now in your hands.
I am in it.
Well, clearly, it's a $5 stock. Let's not get too carried away here. But you know, at the end of the day, I do think that, and especially when you're watching the show, right? We all have different trading ideas, different ways to go. Like for me on Big Bear AI, if that gets to like $8, I'm pretty happy with that. So you're not necessarily retiring or anything on any kind of plays like that, right? But just be careful with it, because whatever amount of shares, like if you're putting money involved, and by the way, we got stopped out at Big Bear AI today, long out to the downside as that just continues to go lower, right? Just because you like a play, you guys aren't making money, things like that. So you got to understand, and to your point, you're going to take so many shots at different stocks, both in your swing account or in your day trading account. Make sure that you're doing the right amount of research and work into whatever your plays are. And I think that's why I said to you, well, you kind of just tongue-in-cheek, I was like, well, you have the data, because you do. And it's just like, you keep track, and as we all probably do, look back at our trade statements, look back at our journals, things like that, to understand what kind of a month we're having, maybe the mental state or whatever, you know, what we're thinking about, how the market's been traded. Do we make money on Taco Tuesday when there's Trump goes back and forth with his ideas? Do we make money on big moves? Do we make money on dead market days?
FNKO.
You know, where are we best trading? And you know, if you can get that data, then you are ahead of the game. So, you know, always make sure that you're testing your
OLPX.
That's the thing, and I've studied, I've mentioned this before as well, and I think I remember that I think was it Adara had a lesson of the day or something on this.
Oh God, the guy just bought Marvell.
Oh boy, he's just buying everything you tell him to. Oh boy.
All right, anyways.
But yeah, going back to that point, it's like a lot of people study these markets, study technical analysis, study psychology, study all these things. But nobody really puts in the time to study yourself.
MLGO.
You know, study your stats, study how you perform, and see what you're good at and see what you're not good at, and then kind of go from there, right? I think that's definitely a big part of it as well. Like you gotta be able to be critical, self-analyze, and self-aware. Be self-aware in order to get a little bit better every day, right? Otherwise, you can't just come in and punch keys and be like, oh, why is it not working, or something like that, right? So it's like you got to have at least some sort of data to back up whatever you're doing, right? So studying yourself definitely a very, very beneficial thing, I would say. Overall, there's some selling right there. So we're holding that trend on NVIDIA. So I tried a couple more times. I'm like, all right, well, maybe this is breaking if we hold that 139, but not yet. We're kind of holding that all-day trend as of right now. So nothing too crazy there. So keeping it tight there because I know I'm going on the counter. As of right now, that's still technically a counter a little bit there. But I guess if I want to be a little bit better with the counters, and I'm trying to counter long on a downtrend, maybe get in when the downtrend breaks on the shorter frame. So like here, and here, maybe for that push up, not just taking the breakout. Like this is the same kind of idea as taking a breakout or anticipating a breakout, right? So it's like obviously not going to work very well a lot of the time, but when it does work, I guess it works. Well, I'm looking for it to work right away, right? And if it doesn't work right away, then I probably don't want to be in it either. And
SBET.
Alejandro saying, "Trend is your friend." Yeah, definitely. Trend. I try to be friends with the trend sometimes, but we're still working on that a little bit. I do like the reversion and the counter trend a lot. But I'm starting to realize that game requires a significant amount of discipline. You just got to be in and out. It's funny that
MODB.
Some of the guys say this sometimes. They're like, "Why are you short the strongest stock on the day?" I'm like, "Well, there's probably going to be profit taking at some point. I have no idea, but I do kind of tend to lean on more of the reversion side of things." But regardless, I like to be nimble as well. Just try to get both ways. But getting with the trend is something that I'm trying to get better at, and trying to learn different methods of execution to effectively position myself on those days where price is more likely to trend than not. So again, it's a work in progress. Still working on it.
IMCC.
But, yeah, long ways to go. That's the journey, right, Sean?
That's exactly what it is. Everybody has a different journey. So, all right, what do you guys want to talk about here? All right, people like to short the TLT. I think that makes a lot of sense in today's rate environment. Let me see what this is the 10-year, no, sorry, the 20-year Treasury rate here. Okay, it's up today. Yeah, maybe.
IMCC.
You know what? All right, we could talk about the macro case for doing this, but right now,
IMCC.
I didn't think it was up today, so I don't know. It's just had a nice move here. We can maybe look at the U.S. dollar as well here, because as money becomes maybe more expensive, we can see this Treasury starting to get back up there to the upside. Remember, Jerome Powell, we might not get any rate cuts for a minute here. So this has been a nice little, and that's why we looked at the daily chart right here. These levels, we go all the way back to October, some of those lows of 23
SBET.
right there coming in for TLT. So we'll take a look at that. Let me just talk quickly about Profit X. So if you look on your screen right now and scan that QR code that you see, you'll get top tier odds with Profit X. Okay, so here we go.
Big spread.
Profit X again brings you peer-to-peer picking and open API access for automation, cost-efficient trading, all in one place. It's like day trading your favorite sports.
Watch
Make offers, match plays, and even manage your risk with diverse prediction options. Just don't place your picks, exchange them. Profit X, the faster, smarter way to play. Users can use code TRADERTV to grab that 2% cash back on your bets up to $300. Profit X is actually pretty cool because you can go in there and pick your own lines. It's not, if the Knicks are favored by 10, you could say, nah, I think they're going to win by 8, and then offer whatever price you want. Someone can come in, a Pacers fan, and hit that, that trade from you as well. So it's kind of like, closing the spread a little bit, like we would like to do here on some of these names that we trade.
SBET.
Okay, so Marvell tonight, this is the thing. So they're going to be reporting tonight. They, their PE is finally in line. They did not have a great quarter last quarter. Their numbers look like AMD when you look at a chart. We had that nice high. You got chopped in half from 130 down to $60. They're just another big
SBET.
AI infrastructure play, right? They're used in automotives. They have high-end chips as well. They're focused on the silicon game with data centers. We did see not a great number from HPQ, but as long as the hyperscalers are still spending, Marvell's going to catch some of that money. They're also 5G chips as well, which are being used in, as I just mentioned, their automotives, cell phones, things like that. So Marvell, they don't have the big large language model type of chips, but smaller chips into data center, and they are required by some of these hyperscalers in order to run the server side. So I like Marvell coming into tonight. The move back down in NVIDIA is not making me super pleased. But
Ford
you know,
executive
just looking at the chart, we're above the 50 period moving average right now. I think it's a relatively low risk trade. Even if they miss, I'm not sure they're going to miss huge. This was a bad omen for them coming all the way back in right there. But I just think for a chip play, their PE, depending on what you look at, I've seen it in the 20s. Let me just see what Benzinga has right here. Their average PE is about 29 over the last 5 years, rolling PE. So I feel like they've just been clubbed down here. So they have it right here. Yeah, there it is, 23 or so for Marvell coming in again. So that, you know, we'll wait and see what's going on. But industry average, I don't know why they don't have that filled out there. I like the name. You know, a lot of options plays on them tonight. We've seen Broadcom and other names start to work out as well. AMD's trying to battle back from some of those basement trades. So I think it's worth a stab a little bit here on Marvell. I don't normally take trades heading into earnings, but again, I thought we did pretty good not nailing it. I mean, NVIDIA's coming back down, I'm sure right now, but the NVIDIA trade was a pretty good one today. You know, they sort of confirmed that AI spend is still going to be there. And they guided forward as well. I think Marvell could put up a decent quarter. So we'll see if they come out with any of that tonight or not. But yeah, so that's Marvell in a nutshell there. And I'm sure there's lots of people that are looking at other names as well. We have Costco coming through today. This is just a shot in the dark. You know, it's been beat up so badly. Like, we could get a little bit of a bump. We're actually at $68 today. We bought yesterday during the midday, so I would say we're probably, I can look it up. We're underwater right now, but we're probably in around $65. It looks like something. I mean, if we got real lucky, then maybe we're down here, which would be $64.90. So either way, we're right here right now for Marvell. So let's wait to see what happens on earnings call for them. All right, just real quick. We are now out. If I do the math, I think we have about 15 to 20% left. We just noticed this move back down, so we started to cover right into there. Wow, SBET, Sharif took like 30 cents on this, and he was mad at himself. Yeah, no wonder, man. It was a break of 55. He got out, I think, short of 56, so maybe about $1 right into here where we bounced. Look at SBET, continuously going higher. A gaming name really on fire today, up 128%. We haven't been anywhere near here. I don't know if this was a reverse split or what. I might have missed the story, but you went from $7 to 37, back into 28, now up to 68 for SBET. So that name just continues to rocket further right now. But we'll find some more information on this as Adara is busy looking. And, okay, NVIDIA's made its move all the way back. Yep. Okay, so good. You're long right here. You're long right here right now. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Again, I gave the reasoning for it right here. I'm not. So this is what I was talking about. I was like, we're holding. I got a little cheeky here as it started to build into it. I like this little flush here. Did I actually try on that flush? No, I didn't. I tried over here. I tried before the flush was happening. I got to be a little, like you said, a little bit more patient. SBET. Kind of really show me the spread. A stronger reason to, I guess, again, you can kind of boil it down to reasons to buy, reasons to sell. Definitely when you're breaking an all-day trend.
SBET,
but it might be a reason to take a look, right? Take a look
now,
at the
high,
very least.
Up 131%, Sandy Bravo Echo Tango.
So right here, I'm just looking for a potential push back in and keeping it tight as well, right? Kind of end of day, nothing too crazy. TQs have been, or the NASDAQ and ES have been selling off. The futures have been selling off for a majority of the day, and I wouldn't be surprised if more selling just came into the close as well. So yeah, just got to be wary of that and stay on my toes for that one. But Google, oh boy, we talked about that consolidation near the lows. Is that going to break above its consolidation day lows? That will be a little bit of a confluence there. But let's take a look quickly at Google and see what that's up to. Here you can see that right there. Nice little wick action. So consolidation, sideways grind since about noon, and attempting to push maybe. Nice grinding bid as well. What's going on there?
Just keep an eye here with regards to SBET. I looked into this. They're not a reverse split situation as far as I can tell, at least not recently. But this is I guess a day 3 play now on a crypto-related move. So on Tuesday, the company, which is called Sharplink Gaming, announced that they're adopting an Ethereum treasury strategy. So that's what's happening here for SBET. They also have about a 615,000 share float, I believe. So pretty small float here for SBET. There's another story here. It's not really moving the stock, but I think it's worth noting regardless. Keep an eye on Ford. The executive chair of Ford here is saying that if the EP production tax credits go away, their Michigan battery plant is quote unquote imperiled. So spelling trouble here for if these, I guess these credits could go away. Back to you.
He's taking a day off. Shout out, Randy. How you doing, my guy? If you're watching, which you're probably not, good for you. All right, man. Here we go. Nice move down again for NVIDIA. So we'll start to cover a little bit more. It's a face slapper right there to the downside. We did not average in, though, on NVIDIA as Obi and I go bang our heads against each other again right now. But I'm going to stay short this name. I'm fine doing that. I'm bidding some 04s right now. See if we get a nice move back into the downside. Someone in the chat said, Sean, yo, what's up, Marcus? Thank you so much for that. He's like, about a lot of the pressure that's put on public trading and showing our positions and trying to talk about them and explaining what we think. I mean, we do sort of stick our neck out and we want to appreciate. I mean, I love being here, so, but yeah, there is a lot of pressure. You know, not just, but we put it on ourselves, right? But it's like, we want to give you good trading ideas and try to justify them. And sometimes when they blow up in your face a little bit, it's kind of like, it is what it is. And we just, I hate that line, but is what trading is. Not every single idea that you always have is going to work. We do sort of stick our neck out a little bit to try to make some recommendations and make the show a little entertaining as well. But there we go, man. There goes NVIDIA. Nice little oh boy move to the downside right now, that's for sure, Obi. So we'll cover some more at 94 if we're able to do that as it goes down. Wow, that SBET just cracked 70 right there. Now back into Sec 69. Or did it crack it or did it touch it right there? $70 flat right there on SBET. Wow, what a name there today. And making moves. That is for sure, Obi. SBET right now. All right, so there we go. We get some more covers there at 94 on NVIDIA. It's 50 cents in the money. We are waiting for lower. We could have reloaded it there, but again, not as convinced there as the market was upside a little bit, broke through the 50-period moving average. There we go. So my favorite name out of everything reporting, and I'm still long, is I really like Costco. Any weakness in Costco, man, I'm buying this name. Probably not tomorrow. I'll still use the 3-day rule, because we've seen moves like this happen in Costco before. You know, and again, I know it's tariff related and all that, but let's hear what they have to say. I could see Costco not putting up a great number, you know, and then possibly not giving a great guide. I don't even know if Costco guides anyways, because they do month over month. They give you every month what their monthly sales are. So I'm not sure that, maybe I should look that up if Costco even guides normally. For some reason, I'm thinking they don't, but maybe they do. So I'm looking at Costco here. Look at it. Love the 200-period moving average.
Big spread.
If I sort of zoom back out, you'll probably see it. Just continue on down here. There it goes. There it goes. And, you know, that was a gift.
$70
right
now.
We had a lot of stocks do things like that. A name that really is not a high play.
Big spread.
If you want to diversify some of your holdings, not by buying Big Bear AI or Marvell, you could get your hands in on some Costco. A little bit of a dip buy opportunity here. 950, 960, 50-period moving average 975. We'll see if that goes for and plays for Costco. The implied move on Costco today, Obi, is
NAOB.
What? That can't be right. 10%? Really? That is right? Oh boy. All right, I'm just reading it there. 10%.
That's an expectation.
VOXR.
Yeah, last earnings it moved 6. So yeah, okay.
It's actually changed since. A lot of times these do change. I just checked now. It's apparently 3.2%. We also have an expected move on Dell now of 7.7%. That's the unfortunate thing with expected moves. They change all the time.
How do you move from 10% to?
No, I don't think. I understand what Darren's saying. That
VOXR.
was. Yeah. It might have been an error there or whatever. But thanks to Darren for clarifying that, because yeah, the 10% move that I saw there on the well, I tweeted out what Adara posted there. Yeah, 10%, a little bit too much there. That's when I saw that, it's like when something doesn't make too much sense, you gotta question a little bit there. Yeah. But again, implied moves are derived from
HBIO.
Right, and so they try to figure out where those are and then what the analyst expectations are.
Yeah, I think there was a question in the chat yesterday asking how they actually calculate that, the expected move.
Yeah, the open interest and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it is an options. I don't know. I'd have to ask Rock exactly to explain it to us. But yeah, it is based on. Yeah, and I mean, unless like Adara was just mentioning there, potentially I guess some values have changed there. But Joe can look up the. I don't know. Anyways, with this kind of a move in Costco today, I don't think we would have got a 7%. All right. I actually noticed in my account there that I am long DraftKings right now. So, it did fall into the levels. We had talked about wanting to buy some more. I did get a fill
ALZN.
right here into these levels. So I got filled up on DraftKings right into here, right back about a month ago or so at this level, $35. So I was actually sitting on DraftKings in this area. So when it came, I must have been right here. What am I talking about? I was bidding, I'm long at 35. So when it came back in and broke through 35, we got filled. So yeah, we're filled. 35 is right here. So we got filled basically March 31st there on DraftKings. Not a huge amount, but I was been talking about trying to get some in. So I'm into DraftKings right now. At $35, right where it is right now. So I like this. I like these levels. We had sort of talked about this. Not that because it has nothing to do with SBET going crazy. This is, again, a first mover advantage. I like DraftKings in this area, and I'm long this name. So one of the newer positions. And then I bought some with my Google money that we sold, which has been a huge mistake. We bought some Eli Lilly. We sold Google 161. We bought some Eli Lilly 750. So the two trades that I made are moving in complete opposite direction. And then JP Morgan. I think JP Morgan could be a short
SBET
here today, but we just broke above VWAP about an hour ago. So now it's trying to hold. Look, like, I would love to get into this name and start to trade this for you, but until something drastically happens, the market is doing absolutely nothing right now. You're going to get up and down, wicked out, wicked in, all this kind of stuff. It's better that we wait either for a break right here in the NASDAQ, 21,400, or we do nothing. I don't want to short this level here. I'd rather wait for momentum to see if we can break it, then go up, and then use either the 50 period as our edge or something like that. Because right here into the close, I don't know what kind of volume to expect because we're not really seeing anything. Yeah. Like, we're lucky enough to get out of NVIDIA down there. I mean, we didn't get out of it all, but, we did have that move down, and we're able to take advantage of that. So just bid out. Just trying to rest on this. If we break 139.60, we're out. I'm going to try to hold the rest for the rest of the day and see where we go. So that's kind of my play now. I do have a bid at 138.13. 138. Yeah, what am I talking about? 138.13 is where I have a bid right here from before that missed me on the way back up. And then my next bid is 138.60s into this area right there. So let's see if we get a move down for the stock of NVIDIA. Yeah, we can look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin dropping down as well.
HTCR.
Yeah, a little bit of, again, I'm just watching the tape here on NVIDIA. Sellers starting to step in. But you can see NASDAQ kind of attempting to push that 21.4 level as of right now. No real distinct push just yet. This is what I'm talking about down here. Got to make sure I'm pressing the right keys. 21,400 right there. So nice little chop for the past 2 or 3. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4 15-minute candles have held that 21.4 as a high. So let's see if we can take that out going into the end of the day. Maybe catch a little bit of pressure to the upside.
Watch the spread.
Come into that level. That's what I'm looking for. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. 139 consolidation here on NVIDIA. Oh boy, something's happening.
Let's go.
Oh, okay, all right.
Sorry, Obi.
All good.
Yeah. So
I got myself.
U.S. Appeals Court reinstates Trump's tariffs.
SBET.
Okay, so all right, now let's wake
up. Watch the spread.
Right now. So let's get going on this. TQQ, that's not going to be a good story for the NASDAQ right now. So let's just get confirmation on that.
SBET.
Just heard it in my ear.
Watch
now
the
remember,
spread.
do not act like we're going to wait. We have Adara's back. I'm hearing it again, reinstating and Trump tariffs right there during the appeal.
SBET.
I'm going to go short right now.
Big
I'm going to
spread.
punch into the TQs just to see if anything's going on right now in this market. Could be Fugaze, but Adara is on the mic.
You can confirm I'm hearing that headline or seeing that headline again. The U.S. Appeals Court, and I'll read it directly because I think it's important, reinstates Trump tariffs during appeal. So it sounds like that this appeal is still happening, but like, at least the wording of this, again, I don't even have a source for this. I have no idea who reported it, but sounds like potentially we have the U.S. Appeals Court allowing these Trump tariffs to be reinstated throughout the appeal process. Again, when I find out any more information, if there is any more information to find, I'll let you guys know. But right now, it just sounds like the appeals court will be reinstating these tariffs during the appeal process.
SGBX.
Kind of vague wording. I don't even have a source, so I can't even check what it is right now. But just keep an eye on this market. Keep an eye on SBET as well. We were wondering about a catalyst for this name. We still don't have one to explain this push to the upside beyond the Ethereum Treasury announcement a couple days ago. But Martin Shkreli noted Pharma Bro actually coming out here about 3 minutes ago and saying that he's actually interested in this as a long. He said that the float is under 2 million shares and that the 69 million shares issued are subject to a registration rights agreement. So he's basically saying the effective tradable market cap is actually $130 million. So it could go to $500 to $1,000, though he's saying he bought small and he's encouraging people not to buy. So really odd note here from Martin Shkreli of note as SBET continues to push today's highs. Right now we're on $74. Back to you.
Going crazy. I'm going crazy.
SBET.
Incrementally looking
Watch the
at
spread.
it throughout the day, but that's an absolute.
Martin Shkreli also called quantum names zeros.
Yeah.
SBET.
It was that, what was that
Watch
one?
the spread.
He had the Sava as well,
IMCC.
right? That recently, I think.
Well, he was
remember they were like Sava's not gonna pass.
I mean, Martin Shkreli, man, drop that Wu-Tang album, okay? Then I'll start to listen to what you have to say, okay? All right, so we'll wait on that one. All of a sudden, Pharma Bro becomes like analyst,
IMCC.
so we'll have to be careful with all of that. But the guys, I mean, look, the guys. Those ideas that he just gave with Adara, he worked out the market cap, he worked out the shortable shares and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thumbs up. I mean,
he's not horrible.
As long as you're going to put up the work, you might as well give him some kind of respect. Before I go back to Adara, I just want to give you, I punched in just really light 1 unit here on this TQQ news, on the NASDAQ there, on the news that the Trump's tariffs have been temporarily reinstated during the Court of Appeals, as we knew that Trump would do that. So now we'll wait to see here what's going on. I'm going to try to use basically just a break of 70. So that top right there is 70.10s. If we break above that, I'm going to get out. I think it's worth the risk at this level. So that's what I'm doing right now with the TQQs and the NASDAQ. And then we were able to get some great covers as well at the 50 period on the NASDAQ. On NVIDIA when we came back in there. We did touch as low as 71. And Dara, more news on this?
The good news is we have some more context. The other news is that it's still a little bit unclear what all of this means. So basically, Bloomberg, we now have a source for this report, Bloomberg reporting that the appeals court is now just temporarily holding the ruling against Trump tariffs. So not only are they reinstating the tariffs, according to this report, it actually sounds like they're temporarily halting the ruling against these Trump tariffs or trying to block these Trump tariffs. We also have the Federal Circuit Court apparently saying that they need time to consider filings. So right now, again, not a lot here beyond the fact that these tariffs seem to be in limbo, and for the time being, seems like any rulings blocking them, or at least this one ruling blocking them, will be temporarily ended, and that the tariffs will be temporarily reinstated. Again, this is all like it's very temporary. We don't have a lot of clarity here, but both the appeals court and this, I guess, Federal Circuit Court coming out here with regards to tariffs. They want a little bit more time. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, the market's not really reacting to it, right? I still think there's a lot lower to go here, though. Do you really want to hold long overnight? I mean, that's just the question. It's not about, we talked about the taco trade. This would be a good example. You're supposed to buy this dip. That's the whole idea, right? It's the Trump will chicken out of any of this tariff stuff, but it looks like right now the market's kind of just trying to figure it all out, right? And so let's let it settle. I am short the futures. We just got another cover right there at 90s again on NVIDIA. So I'll sit here and wait. Hopefully the market does do, and I know you're long, and I hate talking against the position, but right now we're 70 cents in the money, starting to go lower here for us on this play. And then the futures play has just been sitting here. That little bottom there is 75. I don't know. I put a bid at 70. I'm going to cancel that. Let me put that back. I'm gonna get out, see if I can get out at 10% at
IMCC.
70s. There, make a quick little scalp, and then hopefully we can get back into the day's low. The reason why I highlight this is that's 50, so I do have another bid for 10% here at 62. You know, if we're going to be right, then it will work. If not, our stop out is right there, and we're very, very comfortable doing that. I think this story is a fugazi because the market definitely is not
it didn't start
considering
with a big
this
bang.
as a negative, because whenever we've had tariff news in the past, Obi, it has really sent, you know, the market one way or the other.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, this is where I punched in 5 minutes ago.
SBET.
So I'm not really seeing too much there. We did have a couple fan funding here, so I want to make sure that we don't forget about those. So right here, just got off work. What's up, Tyler? Can you guys give me a quick rundown of the market and what's going on today? We can do that. I don't know if Adara's coming with a market recap anytime soon, but I can definitely. Okay, so Adara will do a market recap for us in just a couple minutes. There's some, even what you sent me, Adara, is great. We can always do that. She's on top of this, and things are changing as we speak. So we'll go over that, Tyler. Basically, NVIDIA's been fading out pretty much all day. Tesla had a high, and it gave it up. So that's something else there. Okay, here we go. A Wheeler, what's up, A Wheeler? Doesn't the daily candle indicate, and that was really kind of you, by the way, A Wheeler mentioned that he or she mentioned that he knows we're busy and sometimes we don't get to these, but I definitely want to get to them all. I know you guys trade candle to candle, but I made major money on the shorts today. Your thoughts? Thanks. I know you guys trade candle to candle, but I made major money on shorts. What are my thoughts about you making major money? My thoughts are congratulations on that one. So no, I would just say if you made major money on the short, I wonder, you know, kind of here as the NASDAQ, like what gave you an idea maybe for that short? And I was just going to say, you know, without any more details, a lot of trading is going to be a little bit instinctual and a little bit of luck. So I don't want, the word in there, major money, gives me a little bit of like pushback, only because make sure you know, if you're ever making that kind of money, take it out and put some aside. You know, my advice is always, don't just keep putting money back into the market, because eventually you'll roll the dice and it will come up snake eyes or whatever, right? And so you just got to make sure, congratulations on that one. I would say risky to do that kind of a play on NVIDIA earnings for sure, but congratulations on that one. There are a lot of stocks that have topped out. You know, we saw Uber topping out at 90 and then it gets hit today, right? We've seen Tesla in and around that 360 area. That's going to be pretty key. We see NVIDIA at those levels of 140. That's going to be pretty key, right? So there's a lot of names, Apple at 200. So there's a lot of tipping point right now. So congratulations on that. And yeah, just keep it going. You know, keep hitting those trades. And yeah, major money is a definite spin. So, you know, congratulations, Wheeler. If I read that question incorrectly, let me know and maybe I can answer a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know if you're playing options or what, but all right, Adara, you know, there it is. Let's go NVIDIA. It's a nice move down there for the TQs and for NVIDIA. NVIDIA now 70 cents in the money. And you could see, Mr. Wheeler, I'm doing exactly as I'm preaching. Like, I'm trying to take some scalps out here as we make new lows. So not new lows, but as we keep on going lower. So there we go. We just made a stop and go again at 70. So I'm going to see if I can get some out next time it does that, because look at this action right here on the market. All right, Adara, let's get a market recap.
Sure, so I can recap what happened in the market today. We actually had a really nice gap up because there was a federal trade court here who had actually blocked these Trump tariffs, saying that because there was an invocation of a certain act that they would not be able to apply. However, certain tariffs like aluminum tariffs, which were applied without invoking said act, were good to go. So that's the deal here with this massive gap up and this total push to the downside. But there's another piece of the puzzle. Sean mentioned it here. We've all been talking about it. Both Sean and Obi are in it right now. It's NVDA. How does NVIDIA fit into this? Well, they had earnings day one.
SBET.
Stellar report, revenue up 69% year over year. Data center revenue up 73% year over year. Even after they had to adjust some of their earnings due to the H20 charges they incurred with China restrictions.
SBET.
After that adjustment, they actually beat on EPS, and of course they beat on sales as well. So NVDA, great report, pushing to the downside. CRM was another earnings name today. We had VEED, Viva Systems, we had AI, we had Sentinel-1, we had Kohl's, so many different earnings plays. If you're looking more at small cap or meme type movers, SBET was certainly one to watch. Sharplink Gaming just pushing a little bit higher after a very kind of cautionary long note coming from Martin Shkreli, aka the Pharma Bro. We also had this one a couple days ago announce its Ethereum treasury. Now, one other thing I want to mention, not necessarily related to stocks, but I think is key to note here, in addition to all of the Trump tariff kerfuffles we have, are the fact that we actually have the Federal Reserve confirming via a statement that Fetcher Powell and Donald Trump met up today in the White House. So Fetcher Powell has said that he does not call presidents, they have to call him. It was confirmed as well through the statement that that's what happened here. Donald Trump, at his behest, invited Jerome Powell over. They discussed, apparently, inflation. And then we had White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt say during her press briefing, probably about an hour after this was announced, that apparently Donald Trump urged Jerome Powell to lower rates and he was making a mistake. That was not mentioned, of course, during the Fed briefing. But either way, interesting to note that these two did meet today in the White House. We know that Trump's animosity towards Jerome Powell as of late has certainly been regarded and watched pretty heavily. So that is my quick market rundown. Back to you.
Thank you, Dara. Yeah, I saw that news in the morning where it was like, oh, I actually saw it during the midday, but the news had come out in the morning where, Powell did go and visit Trump. I was like, oh boy, they're finally talking, and I'm really curious to know what kind of talks
NPWR
they're gonna be having, because Dara's definitely right. They haven't had the best of interactions between each other, right?
NPWR.
So it should be interesting what comes out of all of that, and that's pretty cool. The president has to call him in, and he's just like, yeah, I don't really go by myself. I got to be called in. That's pretty right. That's pretty solid there. So let's see what Papa Powell will have for us in the coming days. There, maybe some new things unfolding off of that meeting there, hopefully.
So I'm just trying to play basically the outsides here a little bit. So here we go. I just took a short at 70. Average price now $69.93. If we break above $70.10 rate, and I think that's where my stop is. I got to make sure that's where it is. Yes, it is. So if we break a little bit above where we are now, we've broken the 50-period moving average, and we're going to get out. It looks like I'm going to give it a little bit more room than this $70 and maybe, I don't know, it's not that much more room, like 13 cents or so. We'll flatten out of at least 75% of this position here as the market's starting to get back to the upside. So that's what I mean about some of these stories and trying to, not punch in and get that FOMO like right away. I told you about 1 unit. We now have about 3 units on. And if it goes back up to the upside, again, we talk about better trades, less, bigger size, but maybe smaller stops, because we don't want to get run up here and then that gets run and the next thing you know, this happens and then your whole day is vamoosh. Just like that, right? You don't need that to happen. So we'll wait and see if the market wants to respond to this or not. Power hour. So we're going to give it a go here, see if we can't put some damage back on the board or give some back, which looks like we're doing right now, shorting this move right now in the market. The market, looks like we're going to lose on this, so it's going to be a little frustrating here because the market really, Obi, isn't, there we go, we got stopped out. The market of 75%. The market's really not doing anything. So to give back on this right now, I don't know, might not be worth layering into anything now at all. So we just tried a little bit of a short there against a 50-period moving average. It did get blown out. There it goes. So now if you're going to do anything, maybe you just wait for that 200 period. That's been pretty good this afternoon. But again, a break of it would be a complete trend change as well. So if you are going to go short in and around here, it's kind of like that NVIDIA play that we have on board, which we just covered more of, by the way. $70.40 on the NASDAQ right here with the TQs. That's going to be an area for me right now to get out of the last bit of this. So let's give it a little bit of room to see if it does want to work, but we did get taken out there of the majority of that trade. And then there's some more outs again on the 50-period moving average. Just keep getting out. As long as we're getting out lower than where we're getting in, we should be fine on shorts. But it looks like we're getting ready to break through the 50-period as well. That's my, the 200. That's my stop on NVIDIA, 139.60.
Yeah, no, you just gotta remember, you gotta buy low and sell high.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what I've heard.
Obi, man, what? You're sitting here.
But I've also heard something maybe new as well. Buy high and sell higher.
Buy high.
Or sell low and sell even lower.
Yeah, go with the momentum. That worked for us early today too.
That could work as well. No, I'm just joking around there.
Well, that's not joking.
But yeah, no, market's not really doing too much. We are still kind of consolidating within the same range as we have been for the past 3, 4, 5, or 4 15-minute candles, 5 15-minute candles, if you want to call it there. But yeah, nice little push there, aggressive push there as we push in, aggressive push here on NVIDIA as the NASDAQ pushes there into the 21.4 mark there, that consolidation high. Let's see if we can make that push. 139.40s is where I have some recent prior highs here on NVIDIA, only about 20 pennies away. But again, it's been chopping around, consolidating pretty much sideways here for the past, I guess, that hour or so. So nothing too crazy going on here just yet. Apple's still kind of in that downtrend there. Google didn't quite break that consolidation high just yet, but it's still trying. It's still kind of, I guess,
TROO.
trekking along there, closer and closer into that multi-hour, I'd say, range high on Google. If you take a look at that.
NPWR.
Oh boy, yeah, this 139, man. We keep chopping this 139 a lot. So I don't know if I want to stick around here much longer. Again, it's 322. Imbalances are coming out, I guess, relatively soon as well. So I want to stay wary of that. Don't want to get blindsided by an aggressive imbalance. I'd rather react after the imbalance is out on that one. But yeah, no, nothing too crazy just yet. But let me know in the chat. What are you guys trading? Like, I've only traded NVIDIA today, right? Sure, there were trades on TQs that I might have missed that I definitely had planned. But you know what? It is what it is. Where's the next trade? But let me know what tickers have you traded in the chat, and we can take a quick look at those. I'm curious to know what everybody's really involved with.
What do you want to do with SBET?
SBET, I mean, I guess it's
now $90.
You would have had to bet long on that name earlier on in the day, but yeah, a little bit of a squeeze, right? That was brought to our attention much earlier.
SBET. Watch the spread.
The daily chart on SBET does look like a liquidity trap. So.
Yeah, I think Martin Shkreli highlighting some of the impactful nature of the short float rate. They're definitely having a look right now for SBET. Getting involved in the Ethereum looks to be the catalyst.
SBET.
And now,
watch the spread.
That was the catalyst here, which, I mean, that's just $6 to $35. And now you're pushing higher as there's just not enough shares out there. So people are getting called. There it is, 90. There it goes. They're getting called out here on their margins. So 91, 90, 92. Like if you went short on this, you get called and then they have to buy them back. And that's what's sort of creating this. I'm going to assume, Joe, there's no options. Oh, we're going to halt. We're going to halt right now. Is this the first time we halted on SBET live right here?
No,
I could go long right now.
SBET.
Watch the spread. What do I want to do right now? I don't know. It's going to hold. It's going to hold. There's the halt on SBET. I froze and didn't do it. I didn't freeze. We talked about that muscle memory. I mean, I could have gone long there. Is that the first halt?
On the day, maybe. I don't know. It's
there. It is, man. You just saw it live.
SBET.
No options. Uber. No options on SBET. Damn. Okay. All right. So
no, not option eligible.
Okay.
All right. So the main. So there it is, man. Well, you guys are in SBET right now. I'm going to double check that for you in about 2 or 3 minutes, so we can find out where the
big spread.
Well, it's too much news in my ear happening right now. I'll let you know where the imbalance could print there on open.
HKD.
All right. Uber down today, but now bouncing a little bit. All right. So we're back into the futures against that 40 level right now. So let's just see. We're back up right into this level. We could be wrong. This is playing sort of against momentum right now. But I was already saying the Nasdaq wasn't really doing anything. So what's up with this little bit of a move? We'll short the top. I feel a little bit better about shorting this area than we did before. So we're going to give this a go, man. We're in many more shares than we were before. This is about a 4 or 5 unit play right now. So I'm going to give it to this level. It's not huge, but there's the 200 period. I don't mind it. We have danced a little bit above that level before. So because we're near the end of the day now, definitely not something that I'm in love with because we could get this move extension now into the close. So that's something where we don't want to hold too much past where we are right now. Take a 20-cent hit if we have to on that. I wanted to see what the catalyst was. NVIDIA's not moving. Is Tesla making that move back upside? So Tesla's bottom again. Not bad there today at 356. We had a great trade early, buying these lows at 360 all the way up. Good trade there. Positive on Tesla. Messed around with it right there. Didn't get much action. Off of 358. Now we're going to wait to see what's going on now with Tesla. Tesla.
SBER.
NVIDIA there, there it goes again, Obi, breaking back
Also,
down below
see, the
139.
Hershey
So there's
Company,
another fill right there.
HSY,
So we don't necessarily have diamond hands, but at least we're waiting and getting out
almost 4%,
where we want
their
to.
shares
So
trading higher.
we'll get
And then
another
a
out.
pullback in
There's the
cocoa
fill back into
prices.
90.
Cocoa
We are
down
still waiting for 70s, I
5%
thought.
of the day.
Yeah,
That
so
is Kilo,
78s.
Sierra,
So 80.
Yankee,
So if we can get down into here,
HSY.
that would be a good one for us. And here come the futures
And
right back in
ROIV
again, Obi.
is
So we'll
Rovian
see if
Sciences
we're able to capture some of
trading
this.
at the high of the day of
Bidding around
$6.87%
$7.10
to
maybe
$11.35
to get a piece out of this one, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, we're trying to break a little higher there. Again, only about 3 minutes left until this 30-minute candle closes. So yeah, a little bit of
adjusted
a
EPS
push
loss of
coming in
22
here,
cents misses
going
the
into the
loss
close
of 16-cent
of that
estimate.
candle there. So yeah,
Sales
only about
of
roughly 30, just over 30
million.
minutes left on the day. Again, I don't really have anything
Romeo,
else on the
Oscar,
table in
India,
terms of
Victor,
fresh trades. Maybe something will show
ROIV.
up on the imbalances, or maybe just before them. That might get me a little involved. But as of right now, nothing too crazy. Oh boy, that's coming in.
We made back our
real
whole
nice.
day, basically.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we
On the TQs.
Yeah, basically. But no, not just. I don't mean like we made back our whole. Well, hold on a second. I just mean that we were in trouble there on the short, and it just came in. So good trade. Yes, bang. 06s, 05s, 04s. Let's go. Good trade here on the TQQs. Remember, our risk was 20 cents, right?
SGN.
On this trade. So now we're coming back in here.
Also,
I'm out of a
repeated the news
decent
from a
amount
little
already
while ago.
because
The U.S.
again,
Appeals Court has reinstated
just
Trump's tariffs
trying to make something
during
happen.
its
So let's
appeal.
get some more bids
Gonna
here.
go
We're
all
just
the way to
bid
the
in front of
Supreme
$70. I mean, it's the 50-period moving average. This is what we were trading off of earlier. Do not stop, man. I'm bidding 03s. Let's see there. Oh. Let's see if we can get some of that. There it is. Okay, so good trade there on the short. And all we had to do was wait for the 200 period, Obi. Patience pays, man. Patience is a killer trait to have. Like, if I could have any improvement.
Superpower.
Yeah, well, it's not even a superpower. But if I could have any improvement to my trading routine, it would be to add, just to be a little more patient in just in everything, right? Dealing with kids, dealing with everything, really. Patience is very, very key. And so is discipline. And on that note, I'm going to take a little bit out at 05s. I'm using ARCA. There it is. Nice little fill there at 05 as we come back in. So this is going to be a good trade for me right here to close the day. And NVIDIA is falling as well. So patience, man, is just... It's really everything when it comes to trading because we can find all the trades. It's when you get into it, right? Like this trade right there, we heard the story. It was only one unit, and we had, I told you about 4 or 5 up there, right? So it's just a matter of trying to wait for your position to come in, and if it doesn't, no trades. I think you did a good example there when you mentioned that you've traded NVIDIA today. There were other trades, but you were waiting for things to set up on NVIDIA.
HBIO.
So,
yeah, I mean, nothing really set up like crazy good, I would say, other than some of the stuff off of the open. But yeah, definitely a lot of opportunity. If you had the idea to get short and continue the short, yeah, you definitely could have gotten in pretty nicely and a lot of opportunities to sell as well. On the day, we talk about those VWAP tests. We talk about market tailwind confluence with the futures as well on an all-day downtrend as well. So yeah, a lot of confluence there on the short side. Let's take a quick look at how some of these earnings names ended up on the day. Again, I know I keep looking at them every now and then, but yeah, I want to know what the top names that I was looking for in terms of earnings opportunity today, how they ended up by the end of the day here. So let's take a quick look through all of them. Now, of course, NVDA, we kind of already have been watching that one. We just talked about a bit of a nice downtrend here. Let's take all that out of the way right there. Let's take, we'll keep VWAP on. Okay, so nice little downtrend there on NVIDIA. CRM, again, this was my second top idea right there, but yeah. Actually, it actually got all the way back. Did it get back to its anchored right there? Oh, wow, beautiful. So it did get back to its anchored and traded well above it as well. So not quite a reversion all the way back to the open just yet, but reverted, I guess, about 50% of the move there on CRM. SNPS, again, coming out with that catalyst yesterday after hours, but again, once again, another one intraday catalyst there on SNPS, giving us some more quadruple to the downside, but we've recovered a decent chunk there, now just consolidating underneath. VWAP, so synopsis, nothing too crazy. I don't really see a synopsis on that one just yet. Sentinel one right here. Okay, so again, had it in the morning, but didn't really do what I was looking for, so I left it alone. But it seems like it has reclaimed some of those morning, that morning high kind of price area and just consolidated sideways. So nothing crazy. A lot of things just consolidated. A lot of the big moves happened in the morning session and just consolidations across the board for the past few hours here. Of course, there was AI as well.
Watch the spread.
Again, you can see that same story here. Aggressive push in the morning session. Oh wow, there goes NVIDIA. I'm probably gonna get stopped out soon. Nice short there, Sean, on that one there. So push off of the open. That trade comes in right off of the open, and then look at that, sideways, just consolidation, chop, chop, chop for the rest of the day. So it seems like some of the best trades on the day today were straight up off of the open. Even if you're talking about the short, some of the best prices for the short that you could have gotten were straight up off of the open as well. So trading today for tomorrow, saying sell in May and go away. I don't know. Maybe that was the thing today. But it depends. Are you leaving at the end of May or at the beginning of May? Because if you left at the beginning of May, you kind of missed out on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I have definitely heard that before as well. But a little bit of selling happening at the end of May. So tomorrow, one more day. We'll see if that selling continues. Something else I wanted to take a look at as well was the SPY. I did have eyes on the opening price in terms of the week open. The week open was Tuesday in and around. Let's go specifically and see where that open was exactly. Go to the first candle. The open was 586.08. So 586.08. Did we get all the way back down there? 586.08. Guess what? Today we actually lick grabbed the week open right there. Today's day low on the spider is 586.07. So 1 penny away from that week open, and then look at that aggressive strength that gives you that reversion to VWAP. Absolutely beautiful on that push, and you can see like we got that strong quadrunk, strong volume. Rips into the open of the week, and it gives us a little bit of volume as well. So maybe people are thinking capitulation, regardless of what it is. Nice little reversion back into VWAP. So it's interesting that at the end of the week, or near the end of the week, we do test that week open, and I'm going to be watching today's day low, also now confluenced with the week open on the spider coming in tomorrow. So let's see what the SPY will do in and around that 586. SGN. Again, just a little bit of an, I'm just going to be using that price as an indicator. If we trade below, we're holding structures below, then that might give me a little bit of an indication. If we're doing the opposite, that goes the same for that one there. So maybe just
SGBX and a Safe and Green Holdings.
NVIDIA. I had my stock.
It's given up its prior loss. It's up 0.91% to $1.25 a share.
So
shares were trading lower. The company announced it will acquire 600 acres of oil wells and leases from Sherman Oil, but now we're seeing it rise.
Imbalances provide us with any sort of opportunities.
Now 1.6%.
334, and I still haven't seen you guys throw up a bunch of tickers in the chat here. People are talking about tickers and question mark. Okay, so Ash is asking about Tesla 359.
SGN.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
330 market update for you. We're 27
that happened
minutes
in the middle of the day on Tesla. That was absolutely wild here. Take a look at that. Would you look at that, Sean? Would you just look at it? Absolutely crazy.
Look at that.
VWAP, boom, boom, boom. Every time since the open, Tesla attempted to push VWAP, gets straight slammed back through. Not many candle closes above VWAP here on Tesla, and even if they do, the next candle just trades well below, and strong quadrunks over and over again. So you didn't know, there might be sellers that are in charge on Tesla as well. They're coming in at that VWAP once again. So we've seen that across the board pretty much all day today. VWAP sellers
and taking a look at all the major indexes, they are in the green. SP 500
maybe that's the thing. Maybe you just post an order to start the position at VWAP when you see that kind of thing is being respected across the board.
42,173.96.
That's the way
NASDAQ Composite 42 points, 0.22% to 19,142.68.
One of my friends here, this guy that made all those
Russell
moves,
2000
to Cancun.
Up 4.99 points.
I'm hoping that it's already paid for, so it's not dependent on
2072.
Yeah, I mean, if you're slapping 60
gold
watts,
up $20.60 an ounce. 1.62% to $3,343
but no, there goes the video. Okay,
here we
go. Now we're starting to
crude
slam back down. I don't know what was up with the NASDAQ though, like why that's not actually going down right now. But you know, Nvidia definitely is, and there it is again, right back into that vaunted club.
SGN
Right now as we break through 138.50. Peter Navarro also right now.
Even.
Do we want? Are we throwing to
There's your
Adair?
market update.
Okay, yeah, let's go to Adair then.
26 minutes.
More
to the
commentary
close
here
on this
coming from the
Thursday.
Trump administration on tariffs, specifically with regards to this block or attempted block here on tariffs from a judge in a U.S. trade court as of yesterday. So White House trade advisor Navarro, Peter Navarro, saying that, quote, you can assume even if we lose tariff cases, we'll do it another way. So they're very confident here, and if they do lose these tariff cases, that they're going to approach these tariffs and make sure these tariffs come across through a different avenue. We actually had some people earlier
White House
from the
trade
administration
advisor Navarro saying you can assume even if we
the
lose
winning
the
doesn't
tariff
happen, they
cases,
do have other
we
avenues.
will do it another way.
Long story short, looks like these tariffs, which you thought might have had a little bit of a break here after this block news, looks like they are here to stay, at least from the POV of the Trump administration. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I'm just reading the chat here, just seeing what you guys are saying and asking. Yeah, there's a lot of tickers I'm seeing that people definitely got involved with. I think I got to scroll back up to see. There's one I haven't heard of in a long time. And that was Herbalife, and I was like, all right, let's go see what HLF is up to, and see what Herbalife is doing. I don't know how much volume this thing does on the regular right here. Okay, so average 30-day volume coming in at 2.08 million on the day. Currently traded just 1 million, so nothing too crazy just yet. And with only about with only about less than 30 minutes left in the trading day. Yeah, it hasn't even done its average daily volume just yet. So, but let's take a quick look at the weekly chart here, and just to see what it's been up to, because I know this thing has been, it keeps getting sold off. The last I remember here. Yeah, there you go. So nice little push, both in I guess 2019 and 2021. You can see that beautiful kind of a break of trend, break of a much higher multi-year trend, right? And then kind of stepping in as well. So over back-to-back sell-offs there, and lower highs and lower lows as well on Herbalife. And I think the person in the chat was asking, does it have any life? I don't know. But it doesn't seem like it really had a life for longs over the past few years, all the way from 21 to now, actually. So beautiful swing short if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, no, Herbalife kind of trading down in the dumps here. It hasn't even really gone sideways yet either. Only about maybe sideways since last October, it would seem, but higher time frame. We've been selling off all the way since, I guess, February of 2021, January 2021-ish. So yeah, Herbalife, that's on Herbalife. I see Mike asking for SGN. What is that? Signing day reports. Do these guys have something recently? I feel like it came up on a scanner or something. Okay, yeah, they had something yesterday. Okay, that's what it was. So SGN, yeah, this one came up on my scanner yesterday. It did some RVOL. But not doing anything too crazy in the morning session, but take a look at that. Nice little push. That's an aggressive push from $2 all the way from $2.84. A little bit of a squeeze action happening here, it would seem. Again, yesterday it pops, fails to follow through on the breakdown. You can see that crumble. Look at that volume just topple off, but the price doesn't go anywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Absolutely beautiful short yesterday, but guess what? Anybody who's holding from yesterday, it seems like they are dealing with the book right now. If you go, I don't even want to pull up the book here, but again, a little bit of a push there on SGN. So nice look there, Mike, on that one.
IMCC.
He asked a couple times. NTNX. All right, so that's the next one right there. NTNX. Let's quickly take a look at that. I'm watching Nvidia on the side here. It's still chopping around 139. So I don't really have a trade there. Nothing too crazy. We'll just wait for those imbalances to come out. Only about 10 minutes left for that to happen here. So let's see. Nutanix. They had earnings today. Yeah. So nice little RVOL, but look, push for the downside right off of the open. That's a strong quadunk there. Didn't really give you too much information off of the earnings reaction, and that's I don't know if I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing, but when it doesn't really do too much volume in the after hours or off of the earnings reaction, I'll put it a little bit lower on my priority list.
APRE.
I'd prefer it if it was doing some strong volume in either the after hours or the pre-market, because I'm looking for information, right? And that information, I want it to be somewhat significant. And if it's confluenced with significant relative volume, then I do like it a little bit more there. But yeah, sure, doing some R vol in the pre-market, but a lot of crumble there. All the volume comes in right off of the open there. Beautiful reversion as well after that selling is done, but a grinding bid to say the least there. So that's a bit of a tough one. Like, I love reversions, don't get me wrong. I love symmetrical reversions. It goes down, it goes up just as fast as it went down, or it goes up just as fast as it went down. But this one, you can see, it's not that symmetrical. That selling coming in very aggressively, but the bid does come in, but on a much different kind of a time frame there for a bit of a reversion. I guess that's looking a little bit more like a 30% reversion than a 50%. But nice little push there on Nutanix there. So what else you guys got for me here? There's that Herbalife comment there. All right, so we got a super chat. Thank you very much, Shane. So Shane here, oh, there goes my alarm for imbalances. Got to remember that one. So shout out to Shane for that one. So love the show, watch and learn. Much on the daily basis, much credit and respect. Can we please look at SBET when you get a moment? Heard some news, oh boy. Yeah, we've been talking about SBET, dude. SBET, yeah, we can take a look at the chart. It's been a few minutes since I last looked, but absolutely crazy here. That's what I was talking about. This is like, okay, so a beautiful liquidity trap. Again, strong first day volume. Second day, not that much volume at all. Let's go to the daily chart and actually compare what volume this had. So day one, you have 54.5 million shares traded. Day two, Sean?
Yes.
2.2.
What are we talking about?
On SBET.
Oh, SBET.
Good luck getting out of your shorts with that kind of liquidity after a day one with 52, was it 55? Almost 55 million. Yeah, 54.5 million shares traded. Day two trades 2 million and then fails to break down. Absolutely beautiful there. It wasn't on my radar, but you come in and you start breaking those prior day ranges. You start breaking that day one range. Look at that expanding volume that comes in with those candles that break that day one high. Absolutely beautiful confluence there. Strong push. Definitely a little bit of a squeeze, because guess what? Once that buying pressure of the squeeze is gone, you get a little bit of a quadunk there. And that's what we're seeing happening right now. 92.63 is the day high. And I think this one's halted right now, Sean, because that does look like a bit of a halt.
Oh, it halted and came back in.
77.79 right there. Yeah, so it halted, and then literally that halt was roughly the top and only selling after that.
I'm glad we didn't punch in. Remember, I was like, oh man, do we want to punch long on this? We could get long on the halt. Do we want to do it? But there it is, man. Now, finally, the regulators. I mean, I think there needs to be some audits of these halt rules, because, like, you know, as it can move like that back and forth and then not halt until the very end of the day when people are looking for liquidity, I don't know.
That's the way halts have been happening over the past.
Hello, Citadel. Hello, Citadel.
Kind of weird.
Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But okay. So heading into the close, again, let's just go over some of the names that we have reporting. Can I go find that on TTV Research, by the way? Let me go have a quick look here. Yeah, okay, so let's just go through TTV Research right now. Here it is. So we do have the earnings calendar right now for tonight. You can go find this right now on X. Go to next post directly from here. Thank you for that one there. All right, Obi, get out of here. I don't want this on. Yeah. So anyways, Ulta Beauty. X. By the way, Elon, it's up to you, it's your business, but what about getting rid of some of these bots? I mean, every single response, every single post that I put up has like unlimited number of bots just attacking those posts. But anyways, okay.
I heard they're working on that.
It's unbelievable, actually. I've blocked like so many Trader TV Shawanes and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely unbelievable. But okay, so Marvell, yeah, we like ye. Let's see what winds up happening there. Marvell tonight, 405 American Eagle Outfitters. We saw ANF going absolutely nuts on their report. We'll find out if AEO has anything to say about that. Zscaler, right? Again, like we'll get into more data here, cybersecurity and whatnot with Zscaler.
This is out for the White House.
Symbol there.
They are
Costco,
planning,
the big one. We like that.
plan to deal with record backlog of requests for refiner exemptions.
Gap with the new symbol.
U.S.
It's not
biofuel laws. That's
UiPath could be something very interesting. We know.
and it's an exclusive, by the way.
You may have something to say about that. Maybe she's been buying some UiPath. I don't know. We got to go to Kathy's arch and find out what's going on there. Ulta Beauty, we saw that with Elf. Obviously, Elf
also weighing a plan to issue a rule to collect industry input on how to deal
cosmetics
with
themselves.
older
Ulta Beauty's going to be selling them. So again, a competition there. Sephora is not LVMH. Who do they sit with? Sephora's in. It is LVMH? Okay, so I was going to say, so that's how you play Sephora, but Ulta Beauty, another way to play the space as well. ULTA, an old Berkshire name there, was in and out of that one, I think, in 1 quarter. Dell, exactly, yeah, thanks. Dell as well tonight, so we'll check out Dell. You know, Dell off of HPQ could miss, right? HPQ yesterday.
HPQ was today, I think.
CEO.
Right? Yeah. HPQ reported today.
No, I'm just hearing in my ear. Literally, we're just talking about Dell. The story in my ear is now that Dell and NVIDIA literally just happened, which is why I gave that puzzled look. It's not doing anything. It's just they're providing some sort of a new supercomputer somewhere. So anyways, there it is. NVIDIA and Dell Technologies to supply, yes, supercomputer to the U.S. Department of Energy. Dara has this story, but isn't that crazy? We were just talking about it. Okay, the market's now blasting a little bit higher, which is all good, man. We do still have a third left, no, less than that, 25% left of this trade, and we got good coverage here
ALZN.
as well. Remember, our stop is 70.40. Lucky to not get stopped out there. I'm going to bid out now. We're in trouble a little bit with this place, with this play. What's up, Adara?
Actually, don't have other stories here for you guys, though, if you're interested. So DIS on watch, Disney and Hulu reportedly launching an exclusive perks program ranging from resort discounts to contest entries to reduce subscriber churn and enhance loyalty. So DIS with this perks program set to begin in the U.S. this week. Hulu's program going
SBET.
to begin on June 2nd.
Watch the spread.
Next Monday, keep an eye on UAL as well here. That is United Airlines apparently trimming its Q2 profit forecast and its summer fares after over 2,000 flight cancellations. There were also 7,000 delays. That was at Newark. That New York
NVIDIA and Dell Technology are supplying a new Dudna supercomputer to the U.S. Department of Energy.
Issues here at Newark Airport led to issues at United Airlines, which led them to cut their Q2 profit forecast. CEO Scott Kirby citing air traffic control and tech outages as the issues they're in. So not saying that I guess they're not taking the blame there as a company, but they're saying that's something to be aware of. I just got this NVIDIA Dell story as well. What happened here?
Here's how I got my team to use Monday Sales CRM and actually like it. Let me start by saying it's so easy to use that I won the Wolfer right away. Onboarding was seamless, and now every little detail of our pipeline is in one place. Whether it's legal or sales, everyone can find the smallest details within a few seconds. From changing a status to sending an AI-generated mass email, everything is quick and simple. Then my team saw how drag and droppable it was, and they got right to work. Colors were flying and columns were zoomed, and not one admin
down near
request
the
was
bottom,
accepted.
and I can see the net.
We love how
TQ
customizable it
a
is.
positive look for myself there, but it is, again, I want to bring this up. This is the imbalance locator. There's nothing on here right now because we're waiting for this to update. So you see all these times right now. We have 1 minute to go, and then all of these will say 350, and then they'll be highlighted. Oh, look at that! Darn. I mean, that's where you gotta be disciplined. You know, we talked about getting stopped out. It's going to look silly because we get that high, but look at that wick goes another 10 cents. Here it comes right back up. It's not a smart move to be into too many positions here heading into these imbalances. So I should have been more cautious of the time. That's for sure. All right, let's get ready to go here with only 20 seconds now. It's great to have Adara back. Thank you for dropping all this news, and we just I feel like Adara is kind of like ChatGPT. It's like, I heard Sharif say, hey, Adara, could you find out information on this? And she's like, on it. And then like 1 minute later, it's right there. So, okay, here we go. 10 seconds left now, and we'll see what's going on. So happy to have gotten stopped out there. Not never happy, but we did get stopped out. Here we go right now, and let's see what, wow. Okay, whoa, NVIDIA's a huge buy right there. So there goes the market upside there. So there we go. So I'm happy there. After all, see how my opinion changes in just 1 minute. Wow, I'm so happy we got stopped out. But there it is right there. There goes nice move upside for NVIDIA. You see that move. We're stopped out of that right where we're in. So good trade there. Apple with the buy side. So the buyers are coming in right now into this market. So let me zoom in a little bit more just to see some of these plays. Apple. Disney with the buy. So they're shooting higher. Ooh, Amazon. Like this name a lot. Amazon with a nice little move higher there as well. So that's going to start to tick upside. Good move off of those lows, 204 today. Google so all the NASDAQ basically. There goes Google. There's Microsoft. Sorry, there's Microsoft right here. That's probably a decent value for Microsoft. Yeah, 710,000 shares for a $500 name. Nice move there. There's Broadcom. Oops, that's Pfizer. There's Broadcom. That might be a big move for Broadcom. And not really, but still going upside there as well. So a lot of bids and not that many sells, man. So let's wait to see what happens here into the close. I'm not into anything. We're done for now, and I'll probably will stay relatively light here into the close, as you know, this is what these imbalances do. If anything, I would play the reversal on a name like NVIDIA or something that had a big pop. Play the other side of it, because at 355 these levels will pair off, and you'll get a completely different look. So remember yesterday we did 240 million on NVIDIA. Today's volume 340 million. So good one there for NVIDIA today.
That was a nice little pop on those imbalances there. So I guess we're kind of still within that range. We came all the way down to 138 halves, and then coming back into those 40s. That's what I was looking for earlier. I was looking to take a potential bid through that prior high there at that 139.40s. You got maybe a little bit of a double top, so we tried to push that price a couple of times, couldn't really make it. But it seems like maybe potentially coming in with this little bit of a buy imbalance going into the close today on NVIDIA, but nothing too crazy. Even like the NASDAQ snapped up as well. We broke that 21,400. That's what we were looking for, that consolidation push, like a solid push through that. But we're taking a little bit of a pullback right into that level as of right now. So going to keep things on watch. Nothing too crazy here. But yeah, imbalances, that was pretty wild right before the open. And then I don't know if you heard me, like 30 seconds before the open, there was like 400 lots on the bid on NVIDIA, which got filled right away. And then we just started slowly grinding higher, and then we rip up on that. And I was like, oh, somebody positioned right before. I don't know, but it seems like whoever bought those shares definitely was nice going into the imbalances there for that strong buy. We're coming back through that 139 as of right now, so I've got to keep an eye out for that one. Other than that, don't really have anything else. Let me know if you guys are taking anything into the close.
I did.
I really don't see anything. Okay, so you see the NVIDIA. Okay, cool.
No, I mean, I wanted to take that. I talked about reverting that back in, so we did take it. So it's 15 cents in the money right now for NVIDIA, and I'm going to cover some at 90s. If we get there, we almost got there. Unbelievable that we almost just got to 90s right there. All right, I'm going to cover that. I'm going to cancel the 90s, put a 95. It looks like we, for some reason, went right there. So I'll put a bid of 95 and see if we can get that. One more push down, please, NVIDIA. And okay, 370 million shares today, 340 million, sorry. There it is, there's our fill, yes sir. Good little look there for NVDA as it's continuously going into the low side of things right now. So let's go NVIDIA, see what it wants to do. Nice little trade at the end of the day. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. We'll take about 20 cents here, see if we can get a little bit lower there for NVIDIA, and especially if we get that pair off. That happens right here at 350. Nice little short there on NVIDIA.
Watch the spread.
We got stopped out of a very small piece. We put on 1 unit there, comes back in. We take the 50-period moving average. We're out of 70% of this trade right now. I'm waiting for 138.75.
Watch the spread.
Right where this little line is that my cursor's at. What's up, Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by Trade the Pool. We've been showing you the homepage of Trade the Pool for a while now, but today we wanted to highlight a section of the site you might have missed. And trust us, you'll want to check it out. It's Trade the Pool's video-on-demand library, and it's so much more than just content. It's a space built to help traders grow with real stories of funded traders, strategy breakdowns, hard lessons, and mindset tips you can actually apply in your own trading, and there's actually more. The note feature allows you to save the most valuable takeaways from videos. You can quickly revisit the exact moments that matter. It's like your own personal bookmark. The best part, it's completely free. If you haven't exported yet, now's the time. Head to tradethepool.com and click on the VOD library tab. Back to you.
Boy, I have to edit. Okay, yeah, we'll do it.
No, we can figure that out. Okay, thank you though.
Okay, yeah, hopefully it will work out. All right, so
more buying power.
355, yeah. Obi just asked for more money, so I was just like, okay. Without any further ado, just Obi.
ALZN.
Trade responsibly. Okay. All right, here we go. Nice little downside play right there for the market. Amazon still a bid. I don't know where NVIDIA is on here. I'm still going to wait to see if we can get that print again, but it is starting to go back upside right now. So we may not get our low fill there, but we are at a 70%. It was a good trade at the end of the day there for NVIDIA. But yeah, join us, Costco, man, coming through later on. I like that name. Let's see what Marvell's doing right here at the end of the day. They're coming at, whoa, okay, a little bit of a move. Okay, they made it all the way back to 64 at least. We'll wait for Marvell. That's going to be interesting. Gap, we have AEO as well tonight. So, you know, this has actually been a pretty good stock, I feel like. The wife today spent a little bit of money at Old Navy. So I had to get the kids. My son got a couple golf shirts. I don't know what else, some joggers, things like that. So shout out to Gap and Banana Republic and Old Navy, things like that. So we'll see what's going on with them. But look how hot fire they've been heading into this report. So this was $16 back near tariff lows. More than, or almost doubled up, actually. We almost got through $30. And I think the big one tonight, look, I mean, Dell is its own beast, but, you know, we'll wait to see what they're saying, because yesterday we had HPQ come out and it was not the greatest report. Down real bad early and then the bounce. Now the fade. So HPQ down 8%. We'll see what Dell wants to do tonight as well. So Costco, Dell, Gap, AEO there for American Eagle Outfitters. Well, that's only $11. Okay, so that's coming through tonight as well.
Watch the spread.
See, not the same chart as Gap at all. Gap, I think, is on a relatively new CEO. So that could be part of the bump there for Gap and why that's going higher. So, and then Ulta Beauty, ULTA.
ALZN.
Yeah. I mean, not much today, but Ulta Beauty's really upside as well. So it should be some good reports. Stay tuned for Adara and I in 3 minutes. We'll ring the bell, then we'll get over there and we'll do that recap show. We had over almost 11,000 people watching yesterday's recap show for NVDA.
Yeah, we're hitting some I wouldn't say record numbers, but definitely there's a bit of growth there, right, for sure. What was the highest number during COVID? I'd say probably the most.
Coming up after the close at 4 or 5 p.m. Because
more people
were technologies,
you know,
expecting.
Part of that is hard to answer because we have so many more subscribers.
$1.69 in earnings.
Yeah, probably as a ratio, probably yes, during COVID, like we only had 150,000 subscribers and obviously 10,000
Watch the
viewers.
spread.
ULTA, Ulta,
$500,000
$5.80
525,000 subscribers. We want to thank everybody for subscribing. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe button. That is for
$4.24.
And what over, you want
Gap
double the money for tomorrow, or what are you 45% more?
Well, for U.S. equities or Canadian equities?
Oh, you want Canadian equities? We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it after. Okay. All right, here we go. So
quadruple,
perfect.
I like. Well, we usually go a little more than that.
Okay. I think all the equities. It looks like they're all the same here. Futures, currency, equity. Okay. All right. All right. So here we go. With only 2 minutes left. NVIDIA's not really doing anything. My stop was going, well, I mean, we already, remember, we got out at 70%. This last 30% could be an L. So let's just cover it right now. So there it is. We'll cover it at 15s. And of course, it's coming back in. So what a surprise there. It doesn't matter. We only had 30% left. So good little cover, good trade there at the end of the day. So, all right, man, we're getting close. Oh, no, what happened to the countdown?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. It's been automated in the past. And right now,
you scared me for a second. I thought we had 10 seconds.
It's not going. No. Don't panic. I'm flat on everything. Make sure, Obi brings up a very good point. Make sure that all of your orders, stop orders, pending limit orders, anything like that has been canceled and dealt with, because you do not want to have a surprise position show up at the end of the day. That is for sure. So, okay, here we go with less than 10 seconds now. Right there. Hi, Adara. Yeah, so we're getting ready to go. We are covered up on everything. It's Costco earnings. It is going to be great. 3, 2, 1. All righty then. Let's go.
SBET.
All right, Obi. Good job today. We'll talk tomorrow. Join us back again for the end of the week. I'm going to head up there because I think it's going to be earnings bonanza.
Yeah.
Coming up on 1 minute.
We'll wait for Sean to get all set up there.
Big spread.
So solid day for anybody who was trading trend and trading short. As a lot of things closing near their lows there. Mag 7s there as well. Oh boy, what happened? Okay, that's interesting. That's pretty okay. So looking at a closing trade there. That's pretty wild. But yeah, no, hopefully you guys had a solid day as well. We will be here tomorrow, but don't go anywhere, guys. Guess what? We had earnings day one for NVIDIA today. We saw a little bit of shake and bake. We had some shake and bakes on the tariffs as well, with I guess the judicial system trying to step in the way of Trump as well, and then taking that back by the end of the day. It's pretty wild. So shake and bakes all around, it would seem, and NVIDIA still continuing to trade at this 139 as of right now. So nothing too crazy, but I will definitely be here tomorrow for earnings day 2 for NVIDIA. But there's going to be a lot of earnings day 1s as well, so don't go anywhere. We got Sean and Dara covering those for you right now on the Market Recap Show. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.
Hey everybody, we're here. We're back live one more time. I go from one desk to another. Now I'm beside Dara. Dara, how are you doing?
Doing fabulously today. How are you, Sean?
I'm doing fantastic. Oh, new earrings? I didn't even notice those from there.
Yeah, I got them. So it's funny. I got them when I was at Niagara on the Lake, and actually they're from a Winnipeg company, I guess, that does like clay earrings, and I liked them, and they were well priced. So
good. Yeah, good. Matching the shirt there. Okay. All right, let's go. We do have a big earnings coming through right now. We're just waiting. NetApp is just out. We didn't even really cover that too much, but look what's happening to NetApp right now. Not great. So NCAP, adjusted EPS right now of 193, beating 190. Sales beating. Must be a problem here with the guide. So there goes NTAP. NetApp now down below the 50-period moving average. What a good day it was for the Qs. Just joking. A flat day right there. We did start the day off pretty well, and then all of a sudden we had seen.
The guidance.
Let me zoom. There it is right there. The NASDAQ started out real positive there, and then really got faded all day, creating lower highs as we went. What do you got for us?
You're mentioning the NetApp, and you were correct. It was not particularly positive. Yeah, EPS, $1.93 versus $1.98. Expected sales, $1.73 billion, just eking out a victory here over the estimate of $1.72 billion. This guidance not so great here. NetApp guiding Q1 earnings between $1.48 and $1.58 per share. Below estimates of $1.65. They're guiding sales here also below estimates entirely. $1.455 billion to $1.605 billion. That is missing estimates of $1.61 billion. So great, or I mean passable Q4 results, but that Q1 guidance, no part of this range for either part of their guidance is within the realm of what we're looking for. Now, their guidance for the fiscal year, a little, slightly better, still pretty mixed, but their guidance for fiscal 2026, that was just Q1 2026. Fiscal 2026 guide, they're guiding midpoint here of earnings of $7.75 per share. That midpoint just beats estimates of $7.72 per share. And they're guiding sales $6.625 billion to $6.875 billion. The midpoint of that definitely missing estimates of $6.86 billion. I don't know what's going on in the green screen.
Yeah, Joe was just giving Obi a little back readjustment.
I just saw a man jumping and was like, what's happening?
Yeah, it looked like there. Obi's all right. All right, so there it is. Yeah, NetApp actually coming right back upside a little bit now anyway, so we'll wait to see what does wind up happening with NetApp. All right, NVIDIA, man, what a crazy day for NVIDIA shareholders, that's for sure. It was a little wild, but we still end up up that 3%, so we're pretty happy today. But again, it looks a lot like that NASDAQ. You can almost overlay them there today as NVIDIA comes out. They beat overall. Well, they actually missed at 81 cents, but they did talk about that forward move there by cutting out the $4.5 billion on lost sales there. Skyworks naming an intern CFO, so that's nothing right now. Anything in our ear, we'll bring that to you immediately. Anyway, that's NVIDIA. We talked about it sort of to death today, but they do wind up 3%. The expected move was 6.7. So yeah, not great to end near the lows of the day, but still off of the bottom. So we'll see if we can hold some of these levels into tomorrow for NVIDIA. You're just back into here right now, right? So you still have that gap fill that you need to gap back into 136. I think tomorrow 136 could be in the cards. So we'll see tomorrow if we do get a fill back into 136. That could be on the note tomorrow. We'll look at that. A disappointing day for sure for Salesforce. We thought, I mean, disappointing day, sure, but not a disappointing close. CRM, okay, Dell is now out. So there we go. Whoa, hey-oh, Dell. Right there, a nice move to the upside right now. Looks like they'll come out right there. A nice move up to 123, 124 right now for Dell. Marvell also up right now. Oh no, I just bought this name. Marvell downside. Dell, we're in it, but we'll deal with that after. But it looks like Dell right now, 7.7%. Nice nice upside move. What do you want to go with? Dell first?
Yeah, we'll
what
do
do you
Dell
have?
first.
Okay.
I'm also just seeing the Q2 revenue guidance coming out, and it is stellar.
Watch the spread.
We were looking here for Q2 revenue guide of 25.35
SWKS
billion for Dell.
naming an
They're
interim
guiding
CFO
Q2 revenue between
replace the
28.5 billion and 29.5 billion. So that's well above estimate here for DELL. Now, based on the estimates I was seeing, we're going to do this here. So they reported 23.4 billion in revenue for Q1, up 5% year over year. I was seeing estimates of $23.1 billion. So it looks like they beat. First quarter operating income up 21% year over year. First quarter earnings per share, they said diluted EPS here of 1.37, and then non-GAAP diluted EPS of 1.55. So I don't really know how that compares to what
Coming
we're
up,
looking
Dell.
for. I'm going to wait. We have some Boeing news here too. The U.S. apparently asking a judge to dismiss criminal charges
Dell reporting
over 737 MAX crashes.
Adjusted earnings of $1.55.
Watch the spread.
Yeah. So Alta Beauty, a good little number there. So Marvell's battling back. That's $61. It's not as bad as I think. Alta Beauty right now, a nice move higher. We did see a great move today from Elf Beauty. Obviously, it ends the day near the lows, but still, Alta Beauty right now, obviously moving around right there. What do we want to do? You want to do Alta first?
I'll do Alta first.
All right, Alta looks like a good EPS of 670.
Yeah, 670. That is almost $1 above estimates of $5.77 per share for the EPS. So that would be a beat. Sales 2.85 billion, beating estimates of 2.79 billion. And they raised. We don't see this a lot right now, Sean. They raised their guidance here for the fiscal year, raising their fiscal 2025 GAAP EPS guidance to a range between 22.65 and 23.20. That is kind of in line with estimates of $22.99. They also raised their fiscal 2025 sales guidance
revenue
to
of $678 million.
Sorry, 11.5 billion to 11.7 billion. So they only raised the upper end. They kept the lower end the same. But either way, this is basically just in line with estimates of 11.59 billion. So they beat on EPS, they beat on sales, they raised their fiscal 2025 guide, but really it's just meeting estimates. It's just in line, even with that raise here. Talk about Marvell as well.
SBET. Zscaler right now also. We can talk about
Marvell. I think Marvell I have. So
okay, let's do Marvell. Yeah. I guess I got to buy more of this.
Then I can get the Zscaler. MRVL, adjusted EPS beating by a hair. 62 cents versus 61 cents expected. Now sales, 1.9 billion, just beating estimates of 1.88 billion. So they eked out two beats, but again, pretty thin. Harry Lou, Costco's not coming out until
ESTC Elastic reported revenue of $388
I'll look into AMBA if I have that. AMBA I do have, so I'll go over Amber quickly. They had a pretty big move last earnings.
SBET.
So they beat here estimates of 7 cents per share versus 3 cents expected. That would be a beat. Sales 85.87 million versus 85.18 million expected. Double beat here for Amberella.
PD PagerDuty, a loss of
guide,
7 cents.
Midpoint above estimates. I'm going to look here into
the estimate was a loss of 15 cents on the GAAP numbers.
Yeah, Internet Solution Scaler here, Zscaler,
SBET.
cloud-based security platform. Zscaler looks like they'll come out with a nice number again, up to 257, 259. Right now, starting to push a little bit higher on Zscaler. So wow, I mean, what a name, man! Internet security has been hot. Like you want to look at CrowdStrike as well. Look at this name, higher than we've seen before. PanW, kind of this might be the name to buy. I mean, everything else is blasting. Look at Zscaler right now as opposed to PanW there. Of course, nice move there for Palo Alto, but Zscaler is the winner today, breaking through new highs right now for ZS. We actually take out back February of 24. We've already gone through Amberella. We have American Eagle Outfitters right now. That's not looking like it's doing. Whoa! I was going to say it wasn't doing too much, but this one getting kicked as well. Right now, AEO misses badly.
Ooh,
what? I have minus 36 cents versus 23 positive cents. So a complete turnaround there. Not only do they not hit the numbers, they're looking for 23 cents positively. And I could be wrong on this, Adara, but 23 cents was the estimate, minus 36 cents the other way. Sales 1.1 billion, missing 1.24.
So I just looked into that report because generally when you have a situation like this, there's usually some kind of charge that they have to accept. So that is the case. The adjusted operating loss apparently excluded $17 million in impairment and restructuring charges. related to the company's supply chain network optimization project. And it was previously disclosed, so this shouldn't be shocking.
Is that AEO you have up
That
there?
is not AEO,
No.
that is Zscaler.
Right.
Zscaler here beating
UiPath.
EPS 84 cents versus 75 cents expected.
SBET.
Sales 678.03 million.
SBET.
Nicely beating estimates of
the spread.
666.86
Coming up,
million
earnings
expected.
from
But the big boy,
Costco.
the big daddy in the cybersecurity
Costco
space,
expecting
CrowdStrike hasn't
$4.24.
reported yet. That'll come Tuesday night.
Gap,
I'm very excited for
GAP.
that.
Yeah, I
spread.
think still Palo Alto is still probably the biggest one in the space,
SBET.
but market cap wise, but
Watch the
CrowdStrike
spread.
definitely pushing. I remember I bought CrowdStrike on that complete
Ambarella
disaster
reporting
when they
July
rolled
19th.
Yep.
Watch the
July
spread.
19th?
Yep.
Loss
Okay.
of
All right.
58
There you go. So
cents,
thanks, Jared, for
adjusted
that one.
earnings of 7
But look
cents.
at
The
UiPath, man.
estimate is
13
Watch
to
the spread.
14.50.
million. The estimate
UiPath
was
right now, bang that one
85.1 million. That's a
out
big
right there with a big
Alpha
Micro,
big
Bravo,
UiPath.
Alpha.
I mean, again, you know, if they can get back into here, another AI-related name working on infrastructure there. UiPath up to 1550 going upside right there. Yeah, development and provision of software platforms,
SBET,
automated business
SBET.
process. So there you go, man. UiPath upside. So the only
SBET.
AI name that's not doing
Big
anything,
spread.
thanks Marvell, is you right now. So we'll have to wait to see if Marvell. Marvell. Oh no, Marvell. Oh no, we're all the way back up for Marvell. We talked about. I was under my breath. I was like, I'm gonna have to buy this dip. Well, I didn't get the opportunity to do that yet today. But there's Marvell down to $60. Oh boy, Obi, you get that
Big
move down
spread.
right into the 50 period moving average, which was $60,
adjusted
and then
earnings of
upside goes Marvell.
11 cents.
We're down about $1 on our
estimate was
position
10 cents.
right
That's
now.
a
Let's
beat.
see if we get going there tomorrow. But
Revenue of
UiPath, a great
356.6
guide, it
million.
looks like,
The
Adara.
estimate was
We haven't gone over those numbers yet, have we? Because UiPath.
No, I can go over them right now, though.
Yeah, okay,
Papa
let me just go over the guide
Tango
quickly.
Hotels,
345 to 350 versus
company sees
333. So they like the guide there. Did we beat on EPS?
We beat on EPS and we beat on sales.
That is
So UiPath here,
Alpha Tango
11
Hotel.
cents per share, just beating estimates of 10 cents per share expected. Sales 356.62 million dollars. That is well above estimates of 332.87 million. So they beat by over $20 million here when it comes to sales. EPS beating by a cent. So great look there for UiPath. Now we have Costco coming up. People are saying, where's Costco? Where's Costco? Well, guys, we'll get it to you no matter the cost at 4:15, which is when it is slated to be released. And I want to talk about that because initially the expected move was 10%. And I was shook because I triple checked.
Right.
They adjust throughout the day.
VIVK.
They did end up being about 3.2% when we checked back in the afternoon. So let's find out here what's going to happen there. We also had White House senior advisor Kevin Hassett talking on Fox News just now.
Big spread.
And he's, of course, as a lot of these Trump-related team people have been talking about tariffs today. He basically apparently said that the appeals court decision, which has basically been they're going to keep tariffs in place for the time being. He said this allows them more time to finish trade deals. Fed's daily, though, pretty negative. She's saying here that they're making progress in inflation, but they're not going to get to 2% inflation in 2025. Not even speculating, maybe not. She says hard no.
Hard no, okay.
Yeah.
More talk. We're hearing right now at White House Economic Advisor Hassett talking in our ear. We're covering this all for you right now. Expecting trade deals in a week or two.
RRGB.
Okay, Marvell, not great here because you know what? They just gave their adjusted Q2 EPS 62 to 72 cents versus 66. So again, their high side would be great, the 72, but their low side is 62. So the street wanted 66 cents for next quarter. They kind of guided, again, right in the middle of that. 62 low, 72 high. Street wanted 66. So I think that definitely helps.
SWIN, Solomon Holdings,
Marvell, but again, downside there on a guide that's kind of just wishy-washy, I guess. All right, Dell just came right back in. So Dell had a good quarter. Again, it sounded like, but Dell coming back in now on that play. I'm just looking at more plays here because Hassett's talking. I don't know if that's doing anything to the NASDAQ. No, it's not. So we're going to forget about that right now. Other than that, man, UiPath seems to be the big winner there today, up over 10% and trying to move around again. 14.50, 14.80, $15 was the high for that one. We are still waiting for Costco in 1 minute. When that comes, we'll bring that to you. My eyes are just going over to make sure that we didn't miss anything. AEO was the disaster, it looks like, today for the earnings. So I think that you got Marvell scared us down to 60, back up a little bit. Still scared about Marvell. I do not like that sort of guide being in the middle there. AEO, American Eagle Outfitters, goes to the downside right there. They missed pretty badly, turning red on EPS. You can see their last earnings per share, 53 cents. We have negative 36 cents right now in American Eagle Outfitters. So that's kind of what happens with fashion, though, because, you know, it's just whatever's in play, right? I mean, we saw Gap. There's Costco. Costco's out. and not doing $4.28. Sounds like a beat there.
RRGB.
$4.28 for Costco. But as you can see, this is about as steady as it can go. It doesn't look like we're going too much here on Costco, so we'll have to wait to see what's going on there. But Costco right now is out and not doing too much. There's parsing through the numbers. We'll get those when we can.
I have PagerDuty.
They're now out. Yeah, PagerDuty's not a huge name, but we can.
I mean, it dropped.
Okay.
That's the only reason I'm bringing it up here. I'm still not seeing Costco either. So PagerDuty adjusted earnings beat 24 cents versus 19 cents expected.
RRGB.
Sales, just a slight beat here, 119.81 million versus 119.12 million expected.
RRGB.
The guide here is an issue. For Q2,
Costco.
they're guiding 19 cents to 20 cents per share expected.
SBET.
Versus 23 expected
Watch the
sales
spread.
guide. Midpoint basically in line with expectations. Costco I have now.
Yeah.
So COST reporting
Watch the spread.
Q3 earnings of $4.28 per share versus $4.13 expected.
Gap
That's
is
a
out.
beat. Sales also a beat. $63.2 billion versus $63.19 billion expected. That's basically in line. I wouldn't even call that a beat. That is in line with expectations, Sean. But their Q3 EPS was a beat, even if the sales.
Adair, let's go find out. I guess a couple $100 that we spent at Gap today doesn't really matter because it's going to the downside right now.
Already out.
I guess that would be Q2, right? So here it is, man. Nice little move down there for Gap.
Costco reporting.
And we had saw this move here. We talked about this on the show today. What a nice move for Gap over the last month or so. But here it is right here, back into $24.50 right now for Gap. So it is a nice move down. Down now 13% for GP. Old GPS now renamed Gap. Okay, we're starting to get down. I'm hearing in my ear they're worried about tariff costs. Obviously, that's going to be a problem there. So you can't talk about
earnings of $4.28. The estimate was $4.13.
Just continue to struggle on their earnings calls because they're warning about tariffs. And I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. And it looks like Gap's doing it right now to themselves as well. So here goes Gap all the way down here, $24 right now, filling that gap, Adara, that we've gapped up from $23.50 up to $25. Here's what it looks like on a 1 minute chart. Where will we stop? I don't know, but I think this could be a decent buy opportunity at the 50-period moving average because what they were doing is working. It's just a tariff-related issue right now. $22.50 for Gap might be a good buy.
The estimate on Gap was 45
adjusted, sorry, not adjusted, just earnings per share here for Gap, 51 cents versus 45 cents expected. That's a beat. Sales also a beat, $3.46 billion versus $3.42 billion expected. They did have a 60 basis point increase in their gross margin on a year-over-year basis. Online sales up 6% year-over-year. They had net sales up 2% year-over-year. Comparable store sales up 2% year-over-year. Apparently, their cash equivalents and short-term investments at the end of the quarter were up 28% year-over-year. Now, they did have negative cash flow from operations. They said that's due to seasonality. So, yeah, I mean, kind of a mixed look here for GAP. Is there anything else you're seeing coming out here right now?
I just saw NNE there, common stock offering for NNE, but not really affecting the stock.
They closed it, so it might, it just looks like they announced it a couple days ago.
Okay, good. So a little bit of an older story there. Yep. All right, so Ulta Beauty, the story yesterday was e.l.f. Okay, e.l.f. Cosmetics, and now it looks like Ulta Beauty is just like, yeah, let's go with this theme right here. It looks like Ulta Beauty gets back up to the upside again, raising forward 2025 guidance from $22.50 to $22.90, outpacing the street again. So that looks like a good one there for Ulta Beauty. $6.70 also, $1 higher, $5.77 expected. Ulta Beauty punches that in the mouth, gives them $6.70, $1 higher on Ulta Beauty, plus more revenues, man. $2.85 billion versus $2.79 billion. So putting $600 more million in their pocket right there on revenue beat for Ulta Beauty.
NAMS,
so, looks like less earnings per share than last
published
quarter. We
study
had
on
$8.46. They come in at $6.70. But again, beating estimates is Ulta Beauty. What does that look like on a daily chart? You may ask. Well, we still have a long way to go, but just now breaking back into, again, year-to-date highs. So $4.50. We had that huge move back into $300. Right back up into $4.50. Another name that was a Berkshire, a Warren Buffett.
NNE, Nano Nuclear Energy, raising $105 million in common stock.
That looks like that wants to work. Okay, so there's Dell Technologies. We just get there. They raised their forward 2026 guidance again from 930 to 940 versus 920. So low end 930, high end 940 again. This is year 2026. Forward guidance there, so a full year. So we'll see if that can play out for them. Again, it's only a 10 cents beat on the full year guidance,
microchip,
but looking okay. Dell for now only up that 5%. Anything else catch
Yeah,
your eye?
that Dell EPS guidance raise, I think, is maybe even more significant. So that was for like, that gap EPS. You just went over the adjusted EPS numbers. The gap EPS also significant. Sometimes these companies will raise their guidance when their original guidance was kind of just in line with estimates. That's not the case for Dell. We saw them raise their EPS guide for 2026, or adjusted EPS guide, to well above estimates. Same case here for gap EPS. So initially here, they were guiding $7.85. That's still above the estimates of $7.17, but Dell said, no, we must be better. And they raised it to $7.99. So good look here for DELL. Also, apparently, Kevin Hassett, who was the White House senior economic advisor, said that he was in the meeting with Trump and Powell, and he said that he agrees with Powell's readout of the meeting. That was not
YTRA,
Powell's readout. That was
online
Federal
reporting,
Reserve's readout. But either way, apparently the Trump administration is not arguing with the Fed's interpretation of events.
Cost.
Billion.
We also
Watch
have
the spread.
Dell Q2 guidance. This guidance coming out kind of late here, Sean.
I know, yeah.
Dell
That's
Q2
what I'm saying.
guidance. Adjusted EPS $2.25 above estimates of $2.09 per share. Sales 28.5 billion to 29.5 billion, above estimates of 25.05 billion. I went over this one earlier. I saw it on X. So I think the guidance was already previously released. It's just circulating here in Benzinga now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good look there.
That's Yankee Tango
People
Romeo
in the chat were
Alpha.
talking about Costco potentially sort of getting to the upside. It's very, very light volume. And as you had mentioned there, we are getting more information as we come through here. Comparable sales increased 6.5%. Canada's comparable sales increased 2.9%. Internationally, 3.2%. It's the e-commerce number. Pretty big, man. So again, same store U.S. sales 6.6%. Online e-commerce sales rose 14.8%. So Costco is doing well there for online sales. So that's nice to see there as well. All right, Gap just came out again.
Watch the spread.
We just sort of talked about this again. Forward 2025 guidance in line, basically, for GPS. So it's Gap now again back into the downside. So I did want to check this out just in the after hours here. SBET did halt there earlier on, but we do close out at $75. Then, by the way, SBET just broke 100, and then now back into $90 again. Remember, there are no halts pre or post market. So this name is the Wow Wow West here as we go. But yeah, so far so good. Big Gurn there spent $10K at Costco last year. I'm probably with you somewhere in that number. But yeah, we like Costco in our house. You got kids, man, and you know, Costco is the place to be. That's a hell of a lot of toilet paper.
NPWR.
I feel like you got to buy something decent. When we go there, it's like $500 to $600 a time, pretty much. Like, you buy chicken wings, man. You don't buy chicken wings for one meal. You buy chicken wings for 5 meals over there at Costco. So what's up, CompuCare team? Thank you for the nice note. What's up, Fabian? My
CEO.
No, sorry, we apologize for any mic issues that we are having right now. So, yeah, the good thing about Costco is you get 2% back if you have one of those memberships.
NIBF.
Yeah, so that's okay. What do you want to talk about? Looks like you were looking at me for something.
Yeah, I was just, I was going to talk about this SBET a little bit because I looked into it. I know you were asking about a reverse split or a split. So it turns out we had it says 1 to 12 split on TradingView. I'm going to guess that's a reverse split. That was on May 6th, 2025. So it wasn't like right before this happened. The move up was definitely influenced by the Treasury announcement here, so Bitcoin Treasury. And if you even look here in the TradingView chart, the volume we had on Tuesday, May 27th, which was when we had the announcement of the Bitcoin, or the Ethereum Treasury, that's even more significant than the volume we had today. So pretty interesting stuff here for SBET. Now, if you're wondering, hey, why did it move significantly today? There's not a lot of reason for that initial kind of pickup today beyond the carry-on of the catalyst with our friends over at Ethereum. But then we had Martin Shkreli in the afternoon coming out and saying that he would be long this name. He thinks it can go to $500 to $1,000, but he also told people not to buy it. So it was like a really odd note coming from Shkreli. I believe the float is about 600,000 shares. I'm going to check on that.
That's what it was,
yeah, 600,026. So, yeah, sorry, 626,000. So great look there for SBET. People were talking about that, so I wanted to give that analysis for you guys. And I think the thing, too, with Gap, because you were mentioning there, Sean, the guidance basically in line with estimates. I think the bigger issue is they actually lowered their guidance. So they lowered it. I don't know what the previous guide was here in Benzinga, but they lowered it to that 5.25 bill to 5.4 bill. That guide just kind of in line with estimates, as you mentioned, there was 15.28 billion. I just wanted to mention the fact that they cut the guidance. Now, yeah, Costco, I'm seeing. Benzinga, I wasn't seeing this, but on X, apparently it's looking like Costco beat or missed Some revenue estimates, unclear. I'm seeing that they beat, or as I was saying, they were kind of in line.
NPWR.
So take that how you will. But yeah, Costco, gross margin flat here. Membership fee revenue up on a year-over-year basis. Their total revenue, including memberships, up 8% year-over-year. So not a bad look for Costco. Let's see what Costco's going to trade tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I mean, Costco basically goes up and then goes down and now is flat again. So we talked about that 3% move on Costco. It doesn't look like it's doing anything right now. Just not impressive, that's all. It came out in line with slight beats. So, yeah, not much going on there on Costco. We did have a request to look over Marvell again. Look, I mean, here's what Marvell did. We can, I can just call it up for you right here on Benzinga Pro platform. Maybe if I zoom in too far. There it is right here. So Marvell today, it's not overly sexy or anything like that in the space, right? I mean, their GAAP EPS, I was talking about just their adjusted EPS, but see 16 to 26 cents versus 27. So it's gonna, I don't know why this is green, that's lower. Right there in sales, 1.9 billion to 2 billion versus 1.98. So you're a little bit better. You're kind of in the middle again on everything here for Marvell. So 62 cents to 72 versus 66. It's not doing too much. So, you know, we'll see. It looks like an initial beat, but then when you take out the GAAP earnings, it looks like it's about flat, if not a little bit under what was expected, right? And so thank you to Benzinga Pro for that. But I'm into Marvell. It's not, I never want to get into something too heavy before earnings, so we do talk about that. I just like the fact that it was above the 50-period moving average. I thought maybe we had a chance to break rate here through 67 up in there, and then the next level for me would have been that 73, 74 area. So we'll hold out on Marvell, give it some time. We won't hold it all the way back. We'll see if it can hold $60 and then possibly exit out of that. I just want to be in more AI. I mean, you know, the fact that NVIDIA is at the same price now that it was 2 years ago makes me think, or sorry, last year, makes me think that, you know, there could be some love for some of these plays as well, right? I mean, we got to let them develop. There'll be an up and down wave for all of this. I mean, Marvell was $120, right? So we'll wait to see if that can get going. That is for sure. Yeah, SBET, which Adair just talked about it, so you guys still want to look. It's only $90, okay? So you have to check that out on your own right now. This could go anywhere here after hours. All right, just a quick look at a little bit of a market recap here today, if we can. All the earnings are now out. Costco's kind of just hovering around. This is kind of the look on the day. It's very mixed. I mean, gray is going to show you relatively nothing, right? And a lot of these names, Amazon 0.4, so I like that play. Walmart slightly down, Costco slightly down, Apple slightly down. Microsoft up, Meta up, Google. These are all a wash, right? Microsoft's up 0.29, Meta's up 0.23, Google's down 0.29. Netflix today, though, gets hit down 2%. You don't see that too often. NVIDIA 3.25%, so that's okay. The financials actually held out pretty strong. Not too many red names at all in the financial area. Berkshire, of course, the big insurance play. Visa also consumer credit. We talked about that. Those were coming in hot last week. Wells Fargo up, AXP up, JP Morgan up, MasterCard up, Goldman Sachs, the one fail. But not really, though. Goldman Sachs down 0.6.
SBET.
Health technology, a lot of positive names here today. Eli Lilly,
Fed's daily out
percent upside. J&J almost 1%. AbbVie, the name I like, up 1.3%. Pfizer 1.6%. Not much else going on, man. Basically, the technology services had some mixed results with CRM down 3.3%, IBM down a little bit. There's Palo Alto down as well. That reminds me, let's just check out the
businesses have not put their pencils down.
News on Rigetti, possibly.
Daily said,
so RGTI a little bit. That could be an offering. Not too much downside play there for RGTI. Rigetti, we'll see. That's not a quantum-related play there. UBTS not doing anything. ION Q, a big play in the space. That stuff. See, everything kind of fell out.
Deregulation and tax relief usually a net positive for growth. U.S. economy in a good place.
A nice move down there. We wish we would have seen that earlier. But okay, let's just see what NVIDIA is doing as we get ready to get. There it is. Bang. Automatic shelf filing there on Rigetti. So that just came out right now as well. So probably expected, not a huge move down there for Rigetti. You got to file these. So there it is, shelf offering for Rigetti. So we'll find out what that's doing. Short squeeze on some of these names. Rigetti's shortfall 24%. So this could get bought up tomorrow. We'll see how low this can go. Into $10 is a spot right there. That's the 50-period moving average. So we'll figure that all out. But it's 4:30 right now.
It is.
Thought we had good. Anything we didn't cover that you want to talk about quickly?
I think we covered everything pretty well. We covered all of those many earnings names. Covered Costco. We covered Ambarella for someone in the chat. I think I don't think there's much we didn't go over. Zscaler, we haven't looked at.
Oh, that's what I want to do. I actually want to talk about Zscaler quickly. Yeah.
Zscaler is still holding up really well. Now, in case you guys missed it, they did appoint a new CFO. His name is Kevin Rubin. I forgot to say that earlier, but that did happen. They beat on EPS here.
RGTI, we're getting computing dropping here. Romeo Golf Tango
Sales,
India.
678.03 million versus 666.86 million expected. Now, they also raised their guidance, so let's go Zscaler. This one, a scaler right now, certainly I think deserves a little bit of a higher spot in the alphabet there. Terrible pun. Raising their fiscal 2025 adjusted EPS guidance to 318 to 319 above estimates of 307. Fiscal 2025 sales guidance increasing here to a range between 2.66 billion. Okay, this doesn't look like 2.66 billion. Ben saying that's not a range. They just raised it to $2.66 billion, but it's above estimates of $2.65 billion. So great look here, Zscaler beat and raise across the board. Good job, Zscaler.
All right, there it is, man. Marvell looking to get back to Greensville right now, so that's going to be good. Remember, conference calls ongoing, right? Some of them start 4:30, some of them start 5, some of them start 5:30. But definitely check that out. Always movement there once the CFO, CEOs, and different people get on there, and you can hear some analyst questions and whatnot. So shout out to conference calls and shout out to anybody that's still here. All right, it's roll call. We want to say a big thank you to everybody, as we're glad to have Adara back. What a great recap show we just had. Over 3,500 of you have stayed late with us, so that's awesome. Costco earnings big time, Marvell earnings big time as well. What's up to farm traders here still? Marcus Steven Johnson says he's going to go get some Molson's there tonight. So shout out to Canada. Their eyes are like Molson Canadian, good little beer there. I remember Molson Export. I don't even think that exists anymore. What's up to S-Boy? Bear Slayer's here. Jake Roberts is here. The Millionaire is here. That's a good little level to get to. Ty Smith is here as well. What's up, Tyler? Chandler Mays is here. TH Denise Mitchell is here as well. Charlie Taff is always here.
ALZN.
Thank you for such a great day on the stream. I mean, this is kind of cool too.
MODV.
DUOT, Duos Technology, increasing share offering by $10.5 million throughout the market sales
SBET.
agreement amendment.
Watch the spread.
DUOT. Delta Uniform Oscar Tango.
SBET. Watch the spread. SBET. Watch the spread. SBET. Big spread. SBET. Big spread. CEO. CEO. NPWR. SBET. Big spread. SBET. NPWR.
NMAX Newsmax secures multi-year distribution renewal agreement with
CEO.
Verizon Fios, that's November Michael Alpha X-Ray and Victor Zulu.
MODB. MODB. CEO. Dell. RRGB.
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 RRGB. RRGB. RRGB. RRGB. RRGB.
RRGB.
RRGB.
RRGB.
RRGB.
RRGB.
RRGB.
VCIG.
RRGB.
NPWR.
RRGB. 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 RRGB.
RRGB.
RRGB. RRGB. RRGB. RRGB.
RRGB. MODB. Path. SBET. Watch the spread. SBET. Big spread. SBET. Big spread. TQQQ. MODB. Dell. SBET. Watch the spread. RR. ALZN. KRE. RRGB. RRGB. SBET. Watch the spread. SBET. Watch the spread. Path. Lucy.
MODV, MODV.
SBET. Watch the spread.
MODV. MODV.
NPWR.
MODV. MODV.
SBET. Big spread. SBET. Watch the spread.
MODV. MODV. MODV.
MODV.
MODV.
MODV.
MODV. MODV. MODV.
MODV.
MODV. MODV.
MODV.
MODV.
NPWR. CEO. RRGB. RRGB. SBET. Big spread. SBET. Watch the spread. MODV. MODV.
MODV.
MODV. MODV. MP. MODB. MODB.
MODB.
MODB.
MODB. MODB. MODB. MODB. MODB.
MODB.
MODB.
MODB.
MODB. MODB.
MODB.
MODB.
MODB. MODB. SBET.
MODB.
Watch the spread.
MODB. MODB.
MODB.
MODB.
MODB. MODB. RRGB. RRGB. NPWR. RRGB. SGN.
It could cost you up to $8,000 to fix a transmission, or up to $10,000 to fix your engine, or up to $2,000.
TQQQ. SOXL. Dell. MLGO. TSLL. IMNN. SOXL. TIGR. SGN. MODB. MODB. SBET. Watch the spread. MODB. SBET. Watch the spread. SBET. Watch the spread. AI. RRGB. MODB. SGN. SGN. SABS. Big spread. MODB. 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 MSGM. MODB. SGN. MODB.
MODB.
MODB. MODB.
MODB.
SBET. Big spread. MODB. MODV. MSGM. TNGX. IMNN. MODV. MODV. IMNN. NPWR. MSGM. RRGB. MSGM. MODV. MODV. SGLY. SGLY. ENVB. RRGB. MODV. 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 ALZN. SSY. MSGM. SBET. Watch the spread. SSY. MODV. SPY. MODV.